for Grand Forks Central, and I'm sure he's breaking down those numbers to utilize those with his team to remind them that right now they're in a situation where there's a great burst of speed to get started, but it's not just about how you start, it's also about how you finish, and they've got to find a way to finish these games with a little bit more intensity, and that'll be one of the big challenges for Grand Forks Central coming up tonight. Those are the comments of Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, on our pregame report this evening. Still to come, our Tools the Game, presented by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealer. We'll introduce you to the players that'll be making the plays tonight. And your starting lineups in hockey not far away. We're scheduled for a 7:30 puck drop. It'll be just a little bit after that tonight as we get back into action here at at Farmers Union Insurance Center at Shields Arena in Fargo. It's Grand Forks Central on the road at Fargo Davies on the Branson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Welcome back to Farmers Union Insurance Center here at Shields Arena in Fargo tonight. We also join you on Magnitude Sports in Fargo tonight. Those of you that are joining in on the web stream this evening for Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central, we welcome you back to the arena as well. High school hockey here on Magnitude Sports and KNOX. Tonight it's Grand Forks Central and Fargo Davies that will do battle for the second time this year. The Eagles are 5-3 on the season. Grand Forks Central enters the night at 6-1. It's time for our Tools the Game, brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your best work. All their machinery from Kubota can be seen on their lot across from Simplot on Gateway in Grand Forks. And they've got machinery from the smallest projects all the way up to the largest that you would need. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer, their tool center in Grand Forks on Gateway and Washington has every power tool you're looking for. And Acme Equipment has a service department that is second to none. You can find them again by going to their main store, Gateway in Washington. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools bringing you tonight's Tools of the Game here on KNOX. For Grand Forks Central, you might have the best line in hockey with Braden Panzer, Chase Spicer, and Joey Kennelly. Braden Panzer currently number 3 in the state in scoring, and that is against East Region competition, whereas the top 2 scorers are currently in the western part of North Dakota. But Panzer, Spicer, and Kennelly coming in with 45 points combined as a unit on that first line tonight. So definitely tools to keep in mind. But We're going to take a look at Cade Linseth tonight for the Knights. He's going to anchor the third line. He had a chance to play on the fourth line back on Tuesday night against West Fargo, and he really skated well, and he's going to be rewarded with the center's position on the third line. That will keep Adam Arnold back on the blue line for Grand Forks Central, but that is a heck of an opportunity for Cade Linseth as a sophomore to come into that game on Tuesday and make his way into a center's position on the third line. Those will be the tools that we watch tonight for Grand Forks Central. For Fargo Davies, their leading scorer is Cameron Bullinger. He's number 7 in the league in scoring with 12 points right now. Their leading goal scorer on the season is Jackson Archibald with 11 points but 7 goals, and they play together on the second line. And you can expect a little mixing and matching going on. In fact, Fargo Davies probably putting Bullinger and Archibald on their second line to match up with other teams' second lines throughout the state. So they're really going to try to make their scoring recipe right there. But Gavin Balvich is going to have a year. He's a senior. He's got 8 points on the year. We know he's a good player. We know that he's going to break out and do some big things. Easton Rarick's been a pretty good defenseman for Fargo Davies throughout the year, patrolling the blue line. And then, of course, Trent Wimpkin. You just can't overlook what he's done this season. A 5-3 record, but he's better than his record. 1.96 goals against and a 91.4 save percentage on the season, or I should say rather 914. For Colby Elseth, 6-1, 1.17 goals against and a save percentage of 918. Two very identical looks between the pipes tonight for Central and for Fargo Davies. Those are the tools of the game, and they're brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They are your Kubota dealer in Grand Forks. Our starting lineups are just around the corner to be followed by our national anthem. Our starters are coming up next, and then we'll get ready to drop the puck here at Farmers Union Insurance Center. Fargo, North Dakota at Shields Arena, where they're playing on the big ice just across the hallway. The Fargo Force are at home for a 3-game stint this weekend as they take on the Lincoln Stars. They're looking to bounce back after a loss last night, so it's pretty full building here tonight. And tonight on the high school ice, it's Central and Fargo Davies on Franson Bank and Trust, New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX and from Magnitude Sports.
Fargo Davies working left to right. They set up Van Dam with the two-hand slam off the alley-oop. Give the assist to Cole Haynes.
Did you miss any part of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Magnitude's DVR feature puts instant replay instantly into your hands. Revisit a big player score, watch a delayed version of this game, and then click live at any time to return to the live broadcast. Now you don't have to miss the game-winning buzzer beater, your son's 79-yard touchdown run, or your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching Magnitude Sports.
Outside Satter. Step back 3, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half.
Magnitude Sports has delivered over 1,000 broadcasts capturing all fourth quarter comebacks, walk-off home runs, buzzer beaters, 62-point volleyball sets, and double overtime victories. The excitement is on Magnitude Sports. Over 150 teams from 5 states and 2 countries have been featured on Magnitude Sports at both the varsity and sub-varsity levels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and select your alert preference so you never have to miss that big moment from your favorite area sports team. Find us on Facebook and Twitter too. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Magnitude Sports would like to remind you that whether you're watching from home or watching from the stands, to please respect officials. Without high school officials, games are canceled and players lose playing time. Contact your local high school to find out how you can become an official and stay connected to the game you love.
And your home team, your Fargo Davies Eagles. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Central Knights, between the pipes tonight, senior number 1, Colby Elseth. Starting on one defense, the senior number 4, Carson Caulfield. At the other defense, the junior number 22, Dylan Coons. Starting up front at one wing, the senior
Welcome
number
back
11,
to Farmers
Chase
Union
Spicer.
Insurance Center, Fargo, North Dakota. Live coverage of Grand Forks Central Knights hockey here tonight on KNOX. Live coverage of high school hockey on Magnitude Sports and the Franson Bank and Trust, New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening from Farmers Union Insurance Center. The Knights are 6-1. Fargo Davies is 5-3 on the season. They are currently announcing our starting lineups for tonight. And our starting lineups tonight tonight are brought to you by Chris Moen at Nodak Insurance. With competitive rates and outstanding local service, it's easy to see why more people in North Dakota are making the switch to Nodak Insurance. Give him a call at 757-1613. That's 757-1613 to get a quote. Chris Moen knows insurance. He knows North Dakota, and he might even know you. Again, 757-1613 for a quote. For Fargo Davies, Trent Wimkin between the pipes, a junior, 5-3 record on the season. The defenseman will be Gunnar Barwicki, a senior, Skylar Sekerson, a sophomore. They'll start their first line tonight. Hunter Demers anchoring in the middle, a junior, with Joe Fry on his left, a sophomore, and Gavin Balvich on his right, a senior. For the head coach of the Fargo Davies Eagles, Nate McKell. We'll keep it here for our national anthem, then run down our starters for Grand Forks Central. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem from Farmers Union Insurance Center and Shields Arena this evening. National anthem takes place here, kind of faint in the background. Apologies for that. We get ready for the second half of our starting lineups, brought to you by Chris Moen and Nodak Insurance tonight. Those are the starters for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Colby Elsat, the senior, is between the pipes tonight. Senior and a junior on the blue line. Carson Caulfield is the senior. Dylan Kuntz is the junior in that first line. A trio of seniors and 45 points on the season for Braden Panzer in the middle, with Chase Spicer on the left and Joey Kennelly on the right. Grant Paranika is the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. The Knights are in maroon with white and silver, and they'll move from our right to left this evening. And Fargo Davies will move from our left to right here tonight, and they are clad in white with a gold stripe through the chest that says Fargo Davies in a different shade of maroon, a little more brown in the maroon for Fargo Davies. Actually, I guess you could say a little bit more red in the maroon for Fargo Davies and a little bit more brown in the maroon for Grand Forks Central. But Davies majority white, Central majority maroon. And here we go. We're ready for the second stint between these two teams this season. Grand Forks Central won the opener 5-2. That was in Grand Forks. Tonight we're in Fargo. Hunter Demers will take the drop for Davies. He'll draw against Braden Panzer, and Panzer wins the draw for Grand Forks Central. And we're underway with Knights hockey tonight on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. High school hockey on Magnitude Sports. Gavin Balvich with a loose puck for Fargo Davies on the right wall. It'll be turned aside by Braden Panzer on the checkered line. He sends it back into the Davies zone. A late add to the blue line with Gunnar Barwicki, who is listed as a fourth line forward. He was going to be perhaps the 10th or 11th forward to play tonight. He gets a start as a defenseman this evening and puts the puck back in to the Grand Forks Central zone. Carson Caulfield over to chase it down in the right corner. It's played back from the point by Easton Rarick, who jumps on the ice. After not being announced as a starter, they went with Barwicki and Sekerson, and then Easton Rarick actually ends up coming out for the first shift. And in the end, a puck is played out of play, and we'll see a draw coming up in the Grand Forks Central zone over in the right corner. Second line comes out, Brendan White for Grand Forks Central and Landon Donner for Fargo Davies. This will be the scoring line now for the Eagles, where they have the most of their offensive success, and it's Cam Bullinger, their leading scorer, chasing down a puck in the far corner. It'll be picked up on the backside by Jackson Archibald. He turned it out towards the point, a fan by Rarick trying to get to it. Puck loose to the near side boards. Connor Litzinger skates through a hit, sends it down into the corner. It was chased there by Dominic Gershevsky, who gets back in the lineup after being a late scratch for the night. Litzinger a drive on the great feed from Gershevsky, knocked aside by Wimpkin, made a nice save. Adam Arnold got one through traffic from the right point, but Wimpkin will paddle that aside as well. It works back to the point. Gershevsky holds it in. Litzinger trying to trace it down. Instead, Landon Donner comes away with the puck for Fargo Davies and cycles it back off to the right wall. Adam Arnold got to it in the neutral zone and sends it back into the Davies end, and Keaton Schaff, jumping on the ice for Davies, circles over to the puck as a new defender. We played a minute and a half, no score. Grand Forks Central with the best opportunity so far. 2-1 on the shots on goal advantage, and one was at a point-blank opportunity. Joe Risky on the ice ends up losing the puck to Christian Kankelfritz of Fargo Davies. Kankelfritz comes over, playing the puck back towards the right side. Shot from the point weakly from Charlie Crutchman for the Eagles. That's turned away by Elseth. Puck will go loose on toward the far wall, which is the right wall for Grand Forks Central. Hunter Anderson puts it back behind its net. Kankelfritz chasing it down, got it back towards the right point. An attempt by Sam Supas to hold it in and get a shot away, but he ended up taking a hit on the back end of that, and Joe Risky picks up a loose puck for Grand Forks Central, the back check. It comes out to Bryce Philpott on the left for Central, and Philpott will dump it into the Eagles zone a little early. That'll be icing against Central, and we're moving back into the night zone for a draw. Timeouts tonight brought to you in Grand Forks on KNOX by Atlas Auto. Experience the Atlas advantage. Midtown Grand Forks on South Washington. New and used vehicles at Atlas Auto experience the Atlas advantage. A retrieve by Skylar Seekerson off the draw. He tried to sneak a shot through traffic. Comes out to Gunnar Barwicki, again stepping back on the blue line, and Barwicki got a shot away from the left point. Elseth was up to the challenge. Back to Barwicki, left point. Another shot. That one tipped, but tipped wide. It'll work back towards Gavin Balvich for Fargo Davies on the right wall, and the Knights are there with a pair of men trying to dig it out. It works back though to Balvich. Seekerson again, his shot picked off, coming back to the slot by Braden Panzer. And here's a 3-on-2 for the Knights if they hurry. Kennelly ends up leaving the puck behind. He had a chance in 3-on-2, mishandled the puck, and it's 4-on-3 the other direction for Fargo Davies. However, Job Fryer will just dump it down to facilitate a change, and the Knights get back to it. Dodging a man is Panzer, and Panzer weaves his way through the neutral zone. 3-on-3 back up ice. Panzer to his forehand side on the left. Skates back in towards the corner, taking a hit from Easton Rarick the entire way. Loose puck, Kennelly had a chance. Carson Singh with a blast from the left point closing in. That deflected wide. Litzinger coming on the ice for another shift for Central. He tries to gather it in, plays it down towards the net. A touched pass by Chase Spicer out to Litzinger. Now Arnold will blast that whistles wide. Panzer picks it up behind the net, tried to play it back to Kennelly. His shot stopped by Wimpkin, and a rebounded opportunity that turns into a crosser, which was cut off by Cameron Bullinger. Singh got a shot through traffic, and Panzer touches it wide. Panzer again picking up the loose puck, and Bullinger cuts it off for Davies. Sends it back up the left wall. Now it's 2-on-2 for the Eagles the other direction. Jackson Archibald will put it back behind the Knights net. This will circle back out towards the far side. Dominic Gershevsky for Central. He can't get it out. Ashton Yeager holds it in. Now a loose puck picked up by Brendan White in the neutral zone. White from the left, driving in. Wimpkin makes a butterfly save. Kicks that shot back into the corner. Picked up by White, then back to Litzinger. Plays the rebound to the high slot. Jackson Archibald picked it off for Davies and sent it back to the neutral zone. We're under 13 to play opening period. Still no score. Central with 5 shots, 3 of them rather quality opportunities thus far. Davies with 3, but we have no score on the Hiko's low scoreboard. Ashton Yeager up into the neutral zone and immediately knocked down by Joe Risky. Now we'll see a whistle with a puck coming out of play. It looks as though we're set to have a draw right in the center circle. If not, perhaps on the Davies line. 12:39 to play of the opening period. And it looks as though they're going to bring it right to the center circle to pop this one down. Grand Forks Central will have their Wyatt Walkenfu stepping up. He's going to play a center's position apparently. He must be stepping in for Linseth. No, Linseth is there. We've got some more lineup changes here for Grand Forks Central tonight. Walkenfus was labeled as a defenseman to get started. Risky pulls down a puck, drives it wide. Trent Wimpkin will paddle it back off the end wall. Gunnar Barwicki's over to take care of it for Davies. Has it knocked loose. He'll be run down by Seekerson behind his own net. He got turned aside by Walkenfus, but Seekerson back to get the puck. Cycles it out to the right for Christian Kankelfritz for the Eagles. Kankelfritz trying to pull it down on the near side wall. 2-on-2, pushing and shoving advantage for the puck. Finally comes out with Seekerson for the Eagles. Seekerson back to Barwicki, off to Kankelfritz on the right. He had a deflect behind him. The loose puck is gobbled up on the near edge. by Wyatt Walkenfuss for Grand Forks Central. And now a turnover as Bryce Philpott comes on the ice, leading the third line out. Philpott takes a puck away from the Eagles, dangerously close to the net. It's loose on the end wall. Philpott got it, then took a hit to the wall. Easton Rarick buried him there. The puck is loose behind the net, pulls it out. Philpott tried to feed Hunter Anderson, who was open. Pass was a little offline. Job Fryer comes out for the Eagles on the left wall. Got it back into the neutral zone, but it's quickly back-checked by Caulfield. He'll transition back to Philpott on the near side boards. Philpott loses the puck. Keaton Schaff will run it down for the Eagles. Sends it back into the neutral zone, and it will be picked up by Carson Caulfield for Grand Forks Central. Loose puck right side. Spicer a chance coming up ice by himself. It's deflected by Wimpkin up into the webbing, and that's going to bring us to a draw with 11:14 left of the opening frame. Spicer had a chance all by himself and an opportunity to come in on Trent Wimpkin, but again, Wimpkin has stood up to the challenge. He's turned away 4 or 5 really good opportunities for Grand Forks Central in the early going. Loose puck back to Carson Caulfield. Coming down the left side wall. Caulfield trying to hold a puck in the zone. It comes back to Braden Panzer on the boards. Panzer, a touch pass from Spicer. Whistles a wristler, will go wide. Loose puck to Cameron Bullinger on the left boards for Fargo Davies, and Bullinger will dump it back into the central zone. Carson Caulfield back to cut it away. Kennelly jabbing the puck up the ice, found Panzer. Back to Kennelly. Good transition pass from Panzer. Kennelly dumps it into the far corner where Spicer looks to chase it down against his defensive mate, Keaton Schaff for Fargo Davies. Schaff brings it out towards the left point. Singh got rid of it. It's Spicer on the right side with a drive up over the crossbar from the top of the circle. Panzer pulls in the puck back behind the net. Circled out left side to Landon Donner. Donner found Bullinger and then leaves it for Jackson Archibald on the left point. That'll be deflected wide of Carson Singh in the neutral zone. Davies trying to change up. Panzer tried to catch them in the line change with a touch pass, but couldn't get enough on it to put it up in the offensive end, and Sam Supas cuts it off for Fargo Davies and sends it back into the central zone. 10 minutes to play here in the opening period. No score on the Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard. Loose puck off the near side wall. Connor Litzinger for Central. Long pass stretching up ice. He found his man. Krzyzewski got a good wrister away. But again, Trent Wimpkin is equal to the challenge, and he'll come out and pull it down for the whistle with an even 10 minutes to go here in period number 1. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Lake Region State College in Devils Lake. Whether it's law enforcement or precision agriculture, Lake Region State College is training the next generation of North Dakotans. You can find out more by going to lrsc.edu. That's lrsc.edu. Puck with Charlie Crutchman in the far corner off the draw. Taken away. It comes loose to Carson Singh in the slot. His shot off Wimpkin's chest. Ends up in the corner. Brendan White picked up the loose puck. Sent it out left side. Bullinger trying to race out of the zone with it. He found Gavin Balvich, but Singh's poke check knocked the puck free. It'll go loose across the ice to the right. Picked up there by Brendan White. White took a hit. Ashton Yeager knocked him off the puck. Loose change back behind the net where Charlie Crutchman tries to cycle out for the Eagles. Works back to the point and held in by Landon. Correction, held in off the near side for Grand Forks Central. We may have a change. And it looks like we do. We've got a number 6 skating around out there tonight. He's not listed as a defenseman for Grand Forks Central, so we're going to have to pull down a numbers change here. Apologies for that. Again, a lot of line changes here for Central in the last couple of days. Adam Arnold was listed as a defenseman. We mentioned that Wyatt Walkenfuss was listed as a forward, or actually as a defenseman. He's in a forward spot now, so that would be Walkenfuss's replacement on the third defensive pair. Puck loose, little short-sided shot, scores for Cameron Bullinger. And Fargo Davies will take the opening layup. A crosser right on top of the crease, and Cameron Bullinger was waiting for it. Bullinger knocks down a one-timer on the left of Colby Elseth, and Fargo Davies will take the opening lead tonight, a score of 1-0. Time of the goal will be at 8:07 of the opening period. It looks as though Gunnar Barwicki may have picked up the helper on it. We'll wait for the official scoring, but a big statement by Fargo Davies early. That's Kyle Fulton, by the way, that is the replacement defender tonight. So Kyle Fulton back in the lineup. He was a scratch as well the other night. So Kyle Fulton back in the lineup tonight for Grand Forks Central. And Cam Bullinger does pick up credit for the goal. There will be an assist for Jackson Archibald on the goal. And also an assist for Landon Donner. Boy, it looks like they skipped over Skylar Seekerson in that sequence. I thought he had a feed on him as well. But it will be Cameron Bullinger from Jackson Archibald and Landon Donner, 3 points for the second line. Cameron Bullinger continues to lead the Eagles in scoring with his third goal and his 13th point. And it's now 1-0 in favor of Fargo Davies on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. So Central has peppered Trent Wimpkin with shots tonight, but Fargo Davies the first on the board. We'll see a whistle. It looks like a net may have come off its moorings after Colby Elseth was run into out on the top of the crease. They're going to check it, and it did come loose. Took a little bit of contact from Christian Kankelfritz, and Fargo Davies will take advantage of the opportunity to change up, and now we're going to see first line versus first line. Draws one left side by Hunter Demers. A shot off the draw from Balvich, kicked aside by Colby Elseth, and it ends up in the left corner. Loose puck in front of the net again. Demers got a weak play on it. A little bit stronger shot may have beaten Colby Elseth, but in the end, Elseth able to poke it loose. And now Central of the puck with Carson Caulfield on the left side wall. Caulfield steps over a puck trying to put one into the offensive end, but Chase Spicer comes back to pick it up, sends it back to Caulfield, left point. Shot into the net for a score! Braden Panzer from the high slot tips in Carson Caulfield's direction. Caulfield from the left point got it to the high slot, and that was well outside the hash marks, but there was Braden Panzer to put a stick on it, and that beats Trent Wimpkin. Braden Panzer will score his 9th goal this season, and the Knights have tied it up at 1 apiece. The goal will come at 8:52, and it will be just 45 seconds after the Fargo Davies goal, and Panzer will tip home the assist from Carson Caulfield as we get the official scoring with a puck going out of play. Braden Panzer will score his 9th goal and his 18th point of the season. He's having a fantastic senior year for Grand Forks Central. Carson Caulfield picks up an assist, and Chase Spicer will as well. It'll be Panzer from Caulfield and Spicer at 8:52, and that will make it a 1-1 matchup between Grand Forks Central and Fargo Davies. So the Knights get an equalizer after Davies scored the opening goal of the night. Seekerson puts a body into Walkenfuss, knocks him off the puck, a feed out towards the slot, and a little misdirection by Cade Linseth on the backhand play ends up putting it into the far corner. Seekerson circles back over to it on the right wall for Fargo Davies. Got it up as far as the neutral zone. Christian Kankelfritz pulls it down, sends it off left side, was able to find Gunnar Barwicki. Barwicki plays it up into the Grand Forks Central zone. There's a good matchup between Kankelfritz and Singh. Singh just throws Kankelfritz out of the way. Loose puck, however, is grabbed up by the Eagles as Cameron Bullinger comes away with it, and then Bullinger ends up giving up ground, and this will be taken away left side by Brendan White for the Knights coming down to the offensive end. White had to send it back to the point. No one was home yet. Connor Litzinger cuts it off in the neutral zone. The Knights get out, reform up, and then a big hit laid in on Litzinger that held him up just a little bit. It allowed Bullinger to pull down a loose puck. Ryan Grothman got to him. Loose puck to Jackson Archibald. He thought he had a breakaway, lost it, picked up on the near side by Risky, and Brendan White comes in with a slap shot that whistles wide. Bullinger picks it up on the far wall. It's taken away by Joe Risky, and Risky puts it down the boards. It'll ring back towards the near side. Played out of the corner by Dominic Grishevsky. Brendan White takes a hit into the wall. Grishevsky comes out to Kyle Fulton on the left point. Back to Grishevsky trying to pop it through the circle. It'll be taken by Bryce Philpott, and we've got a whistle as it looked like Trent Wimpkin went back into his crossbar as well. So the net coming off its pegs on the Davies side, and we'll replay with 6:25 left of the opening period in the Fargo Davies zone. Tied at 1 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Bullinger from Archibald and Donner at 8:07. Panzer from Caulfield and Spicer at 8:52. The two goals just 45 seconds apart. And Grand Forks Central, the latest to get on the board. We have a tie matchup at 1 apiece. Joe Risky over to cut off a puck. Hunter Anderson comes up into the offensive end for Central. A wrister deflected into the far corner. Off the wall, picked up by Colton Gergie with a 4th line popping out for Central, at least elements of it. Philpott's still out there as part of the 3rd line as well. Dylan Kuntz coming up with control of the puck. Got out-dueled for the spot by Cameron Bullinger. Kuntz put a hit into Bullinger as the puck went loose, and Central goes back to get it in their own end against a Fargo Davies change. Touch over on the far side. Charlie Kretschmann punches it down into the Central zone again. Wraps back behind the net. Kuntz will come out towards his right. Tried to play in the corner. Cut off and out in front. Demers had a chance on a crosser that came from Gavin Balvich. He couldn't quite hold the spot. Loose puck to Rarick left point. That one whistles by with Rarick on a wrister. To Kretschmann on the right point, who sends it down the wall. Demers gets held up by Kuntz against the end boards. 2-on-2 matchup for control. The puck comes out on the near side. Bullinger, correction, Joe Fryer with a chance. Fryer ends up putting a crosser towards Balvich. He tips it into the corner. Balvich goes back to get it, and a whistle. Looks like the Central net may have come loose a second time. We've talked a lot about nets coming off their pegs throughout the course of the year. Colby Elseth backing into the crossbar for a second time. And now Grand Forks Central will bring first line on the ice. And the Eagles are going to match up with their second line. So this is scoring line versus scoring line with 6:25 to go. Retrieval off the draw by Cameron Bullinger. A little weak shot on the backhand as he fell to the ice and got it near the net. Kobe Elsa had to knock it loose. Spicer trying to pull away a loose puck. Sends it back to Carson Singh behind the net. Kennelly feed to center for Panzer. Panzer coming up the ice 2-on-2 with Spicer. Panzer to his forehand side. Tripped up as he got to the top of the slot. Ends up leaving the puck on the left side wall. Couldn't chase it down. It comes out on the right with Charlie Kretschmann. Kretschmann up into the neutral zone looking for Bullinger. Bullinger loses an edge. Rarick does as well, but he got a piece of the puck. It works back to Carson Singh, who weaves around a man. Comes back to Kennelly on the Davies line. Kennelly with a backhand feed looking for Panzer. That one too strong, and Bullinger takes it away for Fargo Davies. It'll be fed down the ice by Kretschmann, and that will be icing. May have been Donner that sent it down the ice for Fargo Davies. Nonetheless, an icing call. And we're headed back into the Davies zone for a draw with 4:34 remaining in period number 1. On our partner station tonight in Grand Forks, Rock 95, we have Central and Red River basketball tonight. The boys match up at Red River High School. Carson Singh goes down the boards, looking for some help in the corner from Cole Barta. Elements of the fourth line coming back out again tonight. Wyatt Walkenfuss on that fourth line tonight for Central. Out in front, a dig for the puck by Cade Linseth. Linseth put a couple of whiffs on a puck, and finally Trent Wimkin finds it and holds on with a glove for the whistle. So this line on the ice for Central is Wyatt Walkenfuss, who was listed as a defender, Cole Barta, who was listed on the fourth line, and then Cade Linseth, who was listed on the third line. So Central still trying to put some things together past lines 1 and 2, and we mentioned that in our pregame report tonight, that Fargo Davies may be a little bit more organized at this point past their second line, whereas Central still trying to find a unit that kind of works well together and is the lineup consistently after line number 2 in their lineup. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Easton Rarick able to get to it for Davies. Sends it rink wide. Will come off the wall with Sam Supas. Supas to stop. Backhanding one on the far side of the neutral zone. Risky way up ice on the checkered line. Trying to get control of the puck. This will be played down by Rarick, and Kobe Elseth will cover it up with a whole lot of Hunter Demers coming into his grill. And we'll draw in the Grand Forks Central zone with 3:40 remaining in period number 1. Also back home tonight at Eagles Arena, East Grand Forks, and Red River have one going on non-league, and we'll try to get some score updates on that one. That's the opener for East Grand Forks Green Wave Hockey after the long holdup to get athletics restarted in Minnesota, but obviously a good sign for the teams in Minnesota to be back on the ice and on the floor. A lot of stuff last night. Brendan White with a takeaway and a shot. Wimkin knocks it aside. Brendan White came in just forcing a turnover on his own, had a chance, went to the wrister, and Wimkin knocked it away. Loose puck near side, picked up by Dylan Kuntz for Central. He'll turn it loose to Dominic Gershevsky. Back to Kuntz. Kuntz looking up the near side boards. A loose puck cut off in the neutral zone by Ashton Yeager for Davies. Yeager got it back as far as the Grand Forks Central line. Knocked away by Brendan White. He backhands it rink wide. It'll come off the right wall with Carson Caulfield. Works back to Gershevsky in the neutral zone. Gershevsky will dump it in towards the right corner. Central summoning their players off on a change. Easton Rarick looking to get to the puck for Davies. Got swatted at a little bit by Colton Bierge. Loose puck goes into the far corner. Bryce Philpott had a chance but comes away from the puck. Instead, Landon Donner up ice for Davies. Donner driving his way into the far corner. Steered aside by Bierge for Grand Forks Central with 2.5 to go in the opening period. Tied at 1. The Eagles get loose. Shot, nice save. Landon Donner got a shot away. Kobe Elseth went down, knocked that one away with the leg pads. Cameron Bullinger looking to get back to the puck, and now we'll see a whistle. And it looks like a penalty coming up against Grand Forks Central for holding that will give the first power play opportunity to the Eagles tonight. It looks as though it's going to be Colton Bierge that goes into the box for holding, and that will be the call. So Colton Bierge goes in for holding. Time of the penalty for Grand Forks Central will be at 14 minutes, 38 seconds of the opening period, and Fargo Davies goes on the RBB Electric Power Play, brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. Landon Donner on the right side, takes one back from Bullinger. Donner tried to get a shot through, but it deflected out Adam Arnold's arm. Works back out to the point, a clearing opportunity by Panzer, and then Davies could not quite retrieve the puck. Panzer pointed right away and said they're offside. The officials agree, and we're going to draw on the Grand Forks Central line. Panzer, Spicer, Caulfield, and Kuntz on the penalty kill for the Knights. And on the power play unit to get started, Ryan Grothman comes out along with Jackson Archibald. They got started with Christian Kankelfritz, and then back to pick it up Cam Bullinger. and also Joe Fryer coming out there now, but they changed a couple of elements in between. 1:25 left of the power play for Fargo Davies. Archibald comes in. He'll come up the left wall to start the power play rush. Comes out to the right for Ryan Grothman. Grothman skating away from Panzer, and once again, Fargo Davies is offside. The first one was kind of an excuse me, hey, the puck got back into the neutral zone. We weren't quite ready for it. That one, however, just poorly timed on the rush. Fargo Davies had a man way out in front, and they didn't quite realize where the puck was. So we draw again on the Fargo Davies, or actually on the Grand Forks Central line. Easton Rarick comes up into the offensive end for the Eagles as they change up parts of their power play unit once again. A steer by Joe Pryor back into the corner. Crossing past Balvich with a chance short-sided. That's deflected up into the webbing. Shots on goal are now 12 apiece. Earlier it was as advantage for Grand Forks Central, but now that has evened up rather quickly, and not just because of the power play. Fargo Davies has skated rather evenly with Grand Forks Central tonight after maybe the first couple of minutes where Central really had some first-class opportunities. Puck ends up in the Grand Forks Central bench on a duel going on. That actually hit Adam Arnold over in the bench. He'll flip the puck back to the official. And we draw for the fourth time during this power play on the Grand Forks Central line. Brendan White will backhand this puck spinning like a top back into the Fargo Davies end, where Rarick will pick it up in his own crease. Down to 45 seconds left of the Eagles power play. And it will be Rarick handing it off behind the net to Christian Kankelfritz for the Eagles. Kankelfritz coming up the ice, had a poke check loose. Rarick makes the retrieval, sends it off to Skylar Seekerson, and now on the near side wall for Joe Fryer. Fryer back to Balvich on the left wall, trying to form something up on the power play rush. Central's done a nice job of penalty kill where they've kept the puck basically out between the blue lines thus far. Seekerson back into the offensive end, chips it off the glass with 18 seconds left of the man advantage for Davies. And from behind the net, Carson Singh will make a clearing play that will float all the way back to the Davies end wall. 10 seconds left of the power play. Easton Rarick looking for a breakout opportunity. Works to his left. Back for the puck, Jackson Archibald. Power play's over. Grand Forks Central back at full strength. Archibald coming up into the offensive end on the rush at the end of the man advantage. He'll feed it back out to the high slot. We have another whistle. Did the net come loose again? It did. And it came loose on the Grand Forks Central side. Third time tonight that the net has become dislodged on the Grand Forks Central end with 14.6 seconds left. We will put it down again, and that's going to frustrate Fargo Davies. They finally got a rush they could live with at the end of that power play. They had the puck up in the offensive end, a chance to make something happen, and then the net comes loose, and that undoes everything. Carson Caulfield getting to a puck back in his own end of the corner. Turns it back up the near side wall, looking for Spicer. Instead, Barwicki got a hold of it for Fargo Davies. Trying to get a shot loose, could not. It works back in the neutral zone. Panzer up into the offensive end. He's going to come up late trying to get his own shot away. And that's the end of the opening period. The two goals in the opening period, just a grand total of, 45 seconds apart. Just 45 seconds between the two goals in the opening frame, but the opener went in favor of Fargo Davies, and then Grand Forks Central with Braden Panzer coming into the mix was able to take care of it to tie things up. And at the end of the opening period of play on your Hugo's Low scoreboard, it's Grand Forks Central 1 and Fargo Davies 1. We'll have a pause as we go into our Applegren Construction Intermission Report, brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. This is high school hockey on Magnitude Sports and on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network.
Van Dam Chiropractic is dedicated to helping you achieve your health goals and improving your quality of life. Dr. Van Dam provides the most comprehensive chiropractic and acupuncture care. Whether you're recovering from a sports injury, work-related injury, car accident, or just getting relief from chronic pain, Dr. Scott Van Dam will get you back on the road to good health. They look forward to serving you at Van Dam Chiropractic. Call them at 532-5320 or visit them online at vandamchiropractic.com. Go Promo is your go-to for custom apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and hundreds of other promotional products. Put your company logo on a t-shirt, jacket, calendar, mouse pad, pen, or even a backdrop display for an upcoming event. Possibilities are absolutely endless at justgopromo.com. You can also easily set up an online apparel store for your sports team or business. Email or call Twyla, and she'll set up the store, set up collection for online payments, and even deliver your products packaged and ready to go. Email her today, Twyla at justgopromo.com, or call 388-4852. Go Promo. Consider it branded. Whether you are looking to refinance your current mortgage and save or purchase a new home, Sean Carlson with Town & Country Credit Union can help. With over 15 years of mortgage experience, he is an expert on VA, FHA, USDA, first-time home buyer, and conventional home loans and can help determine the best loan product to fit your needs. His borrowers agree, saying, Sean was a pleasure to work with and made the entire mortgage process easy. I highly recommend him. Ready to check out how Sean and Town & Country Credit Union can help make your financial life easy? Stop by one of our 6 convenient Fargo, West Fargo locations or visit townandcountry.org today. From free checking accounts to auto loans to commercial and ag loans and, of course, home loans, Town & Country Credit Union has the low loan rates, flexible terms, low fees, and personal service you deserve. See for yourself how much you might save. Apply online today at townandcountry.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Farmers Union Insurance Center here in Fargo, North Dakota at Shields Arena tonight. End of a period of play. It's a 1-1 matchup between Grand Forks Central and Fargo Davies. All the makings of a very good matchup amongst two of the leaders in the Eastern Dakota Conference, and a little different game than it was back in Grand Forks in the early part of the season. We are tied at 1 after Fargo Davies took the opening lead tonight, and Grand Forks Central comes back to tie things up. And we welcome you to our intermission report. It's brought to you tonight by Applegren Construction. Building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com with a great selection of Applegren Homes products that you can find on their website. You can see what they've done for other people, and they remind you that if it's time to buy your forever home or your first home or just your next home, you don't want to spend all of your hard-earned money on someone else's home, knowing that you'll have to spend even more over the course of time to turn it into what you want. Applegren Construction can give you the home that you want immediately when you walk through the door. And what we're talking about is not just the square footage, number of rooms, where they're located. We're talking about all the little things that make a house truly yours. What kind of appliances do you want to cook on? Or do you want to show in your kitchen? What would you like for cabinetry and countertops? What's your style there? Your style of flooring, your style of lighting, one of the things that has become a very hot item as of late. You decide all of that as it goes into your home. Applegren Construction puts it there. And you can see what they've done for others, again, by visiting their website, applegrenhomes.com. They're taking orders for the 2021 construction season. Don't miss out. Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. Scoring summary and intermission summary. We had just one penalty. No one came up with anything on the power play, and the 2 goals were separated by just 45 seconds. It was Cameron Bullinger knocking home a little short-sided pass. Great play that came from Jackson Archibald as they were camped out on top of the Grand Forks Central crease, and Archibald made that crossing pass towards his left. Bullinger was waiting short side, and he rammed home a one-timer, an assist for Landon Donner on the play as well. The opening goal of the night came at 8:07 of the opening period. For Bullinger, it was his 3rd goal and his 13th point. Landon Donner gets his 6th assist, his 11th point. Jackson Archibald his 5th assist and his 12th point. So that line has come together rather well. Give them 3 more points. They came into the night with 33 points on the season. As a unit, they're now at 36. Bullinger's goal made it 1-0 Fargo Davies, but just 45 seconds later, it was Carson Caulfield that makes the next big play for Grand Forks Central. The Knights defender comes up with a blast from the left point, and it was offline, but he may have been intending to put that towards Panzer, and Panzer made a chip of it from ahead of the hash marks, if you will. The very top of the slot, so that's not really where you see a redirected goal very often, but that's what they got in that case. A great chip from Panzer that was online, and it beat Trent Wimpkin. Panzer gets the goal. For Panzer, it's his 9th goal, his 18th point of the season. The assist for Carson Caulfield was his 3rd assist of the year and his 3rd point. And give Chase Spicer a goal on that, or rather an assist on it as well. His 12th assist and his 16th point of the season. Panzer, Spicer, and Kennelly came in as a unit with 45 points. They now have 47. And Panzer with his 9th goal of the season to make it a 1-1 tie at the 8:52 mark. of the opening period. One penalty in the period. It was called on Colton Gerge for holding. It came at 14:38 of the opening frame, but Central did a very nice job on the penalty kill. The puck during that, nearly all of that power play was in the neutral zone and also in the Davies end. Davies had a hard time forming up a power play rush, but the shots on goal were even at the end of a frame. 12-12, so Fargo Davies came out, learned some things about Grand Forks Central the first time around, and Central is that plus 17 on goal advantage in opening periods this season. Well, 1-1, it was even at the end of the opening period tonight here at Farmers Union Insurance Center. That is our intermission summary, brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. That'll take us to our next pause. When we come back, a look around at our Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard. We'll find out what's happening in high school sports around the region and get ready to throw down the puck for the second frame. At the end of a frame, it's Fargo Davies 1, Grand Forks Central 1 on Magnitude Sports in Fargo and on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessories Sports Network.
While the scoreboard reveals the winner of an athletic contest, the real winners are the players, coaches, and fans who show good sportsmanship. Those who treat the game as a competition, show concern for an injured player, and accept all decisions from game officials. Please remember to be a good sport when attending a high school game. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
Fargo Davies working left to right. They set up Van Dam with the two-hand slam off the alley-oop. Give the assist to Cole Haynes.
Did you miss any part of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Magnitude's DVR feature puts instant replay instantly into your hands. Revisit a big player score, watch a delayed version of this game, and then click live at any time to return to the live broadcast. Now you don't have to miss the game-winning buzzer beater, your son's 79-yard touchdown run, or your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching Magnitude Sports.
Outside Satter. Step back three, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Welcome back to Farmers Union Insurance Center on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX, also on Magnitude Sports in Fargo and online. We're at the end of a period of play. Your score tonight from Farmers Union Insurance Center is 1-1. Fargo Davies, Grand Forks Central knotted up on our Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard. Our intermission report brought to you tonight by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. See what they've done for others in the world of new construction. Log on right now, applegrenhomes.com. That's applegrenhomes.com, and you can find out more about what they've done for others in the world of new construction all around their region. Remember, orders are going to come in fast and furious because of the new buying power of the dollar with low interest rates. And so you'll want to get in on the action for this summer. Give them a call, applegrenhomes.com. Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard in Grand Forks tonight, nearing the end of the opening period. East Grand Forks trailing Grand Forks Red River 2-0. The Rough Riders have the opening lead in that matchup over East Grand Forks. That's the opening game of the year for the Green Wave. They play tomorrow against Grand Forks Central. That's a game that we'll have for you here on KNOX coming up tomorrow afternoon. They're set for a 3 o'clock face-off over at Civic Center Arena. Also in hockey tonight out west, the Jamestown Blue Jays lead Minot 2-1. That's the top two teams in the West. Jamestown and Minot both with 22 points in the West region, so they're playing each other for control of the league tonight. And after a period, It's Jamestown with a 1-goal lead on Minot on that one. 2-1 your score at the end of a period of play. Red River leading Grand Forks Central in boys basketball tonight, 35-20. Red River leading Central in girls basketball by a score of 46-23 in the crosstown matchups back home in basketball. Other scores: Central Cass leading Grafton tonight, boys basketball 25-20. Grafton was beaten by North Border in one of their more recent matchups, and that's a number 9 versus number 3 matchup tonight. Central Cass has a 5-point lead. Max Coppervig has 8 points, 3 boards for Central Cass at the break. Brandon Albright has 10 for Grafton as the leading scorer on the night. Some other scores: Four Winds Minnewacan leading Hillsborough Central Valley 35-16. That game is currently at the intermission as well. See if there's others that we can find out there. Here's an interesting one. Number 6 Kindred leading Edgeley-Combe Montpelier 21-19. That's a boys basketball matchup. And again, Kindred on top by 2 in that little soiree. A couple of the scores that are going on games around us here tonight. Just watching this one, girls basketball, Watford City with another big win. They knock off Mandan in Class A girls basketball. Watford City's now 7-1 at the Class A level, third-ranked team in North Dakota, and they defeat Mandan by a score of 65-52 tonight. So those are some of the scores of games that we're watching this evening. Again, we'll keep you up to date on those games that are going on back in Grand Forks, but Red River leading in 3 matchups back in Grand Forks tonight. They lead East Grand Forks 2-0 at the end of a period of play in high school hockey. They lead the Central girls in basketball 46-23, and they lead the Central boys in basketball by a score of 35-20. Those are the scores on our Hugo's Lowe's scoreboard. Again, we mentioned that we have sports action coming up tomorrow. For those of you on Magnitude Sports and KNOX, high school wrestling coming up tomorrow morning. Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central will go from the ice to the wrestling mat. That'll be up at North High School in the north end of town. It's a triangular that will feature Fargo North as well. For those of you on KNOX, we'll have the first duel there that has some conference implications for both teams, Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central. That will start with a 10:45 pregame report. Now that is pending. For those of you on KNOX, we've had some equipment difficulties that we had to work our way throughout the course of the day. We're hopeful that we're going to be able to be there tomorrow. We're not 100% sure. And we know that on KNOX coming up tomorrow afternoon, we will be over at Civic Center Arena for the matchup between Central and East Grand Forks in high school hockey. Our pregame report for that will start around 2:30, and then we'll join NFL football tomorrow in progress. And all 4 NFL playoff games will be brought to you minus the Central and Central and East Side hockey matchup coming up tomorrow afternoon. Second period of play, Central and Davies, a 1-1 tie after a period. Landon Donner will draw for Fargo Davies against Braden Panzer of Grand Forks Central. Donner won the draw. The puck snuck up ice by Gunnar Barwicki. It's touched up, and it ends up behind the Grand Forks Central goal line extended, but no icing call here as somebody got to it in the neutral zone. Dylan Kuntz back-to-back check for Central. Long pass from Kennelly that was intended for Spicer. It comes off the wall on a funny angle. It'll be covered up by Trent Wimpkin. That had all the makings of icing, but the ricochet off the left wall came right at Wimpkin. Spicer waiting for a potential rebound there, but Wimpkin covered it up. Spicer got him with a splash of snow, and the snowplow stopped, and some of the Eagles took exception to that, but not a whole lot there, just some words exchanged perhaps. Panzer wins the latest draw. Kennelly puts one into traffic. It was out in front for Spicer, and he had an opening, but Spicer couldn't find the puck. And the Eagles will send it back into the neutral zone. Carson Caulfield back to cut it off. Works back to Dylan Kuntz on the right. Up to Barwicki in the neutral zone for Fargo Davies to hold it back in the Grand Forks Central end. Caulfield up to Spicer on the line. Spicer getting run into the boards. Caulfield will step back to take control of the puck. He takes a look at the far wall, finds Spicer. Now it's Panzer at center. Had a little 2-on-1 for a moment. Panzer goes to get a loose puck in the left corner. Turns back towards the wall as Spicer goes off on a change. Panzer tries to hold it in. Kennelly comes over to take control of the puck. Works back to the point. Carson Singh puts it in wide of the net. Dominic Gershevsky gets a chip off the wall. Panzer stays out, so does Kennelly. Kennelly's shot blasted off the legs of Ben Calise, Ben Calise, who comes in as a defender here for the Eagles. Panzer again behind the net trying to short side feed Kennelly. Instead, Gershevsky picked up the puck, then lost it. Be ripped away by Charlie Kretschmann and sent up the wall on the far side by Gavin Balvich for the Eagles. Balvich got to it in the corner. Adam Arnold ran into him. Hunter Demers picking up the puck on the backhand. goes loose behind the Grand Forks Central net. A chip towards Kennelly, who's been out there forever. This is a long shift for Joey Kennelly. Ends up being poked back down the line by Easton Rarick and back into the Grand Forks Central end, and Kennelly gets off to facilitate a change. And really, Central did not get the elements of their first line off the ice before they immediately start going to their third line. Hunter Anderson is the man that came on the ice for Kennelly. That's a third liner for a first liner. Central really out of sorts trying to get their line changes completed here. Loose puck on the right side. Grishevsky fishes at it. Anderson picks up a loose puck and sends it wide of the net. He picks it up and sends it back to Joe Risky, high slot. Rister back through traffic, but again off the end wall. That was deflected, but deflected wide. Loose puck again to Anderson in the far corner, being corralled. Chip towards the net. A wave by Grishevsky comes up empty. Charlie Crutchman over to pick it up, and perhaps the net loose again. This time in the Fargo Davies crease. Trent Wimkin backing up towards the crossbar. It comes loose again, and you know, they've talked a lot, as we mentioned, about nets coming loose this year. Might have to get a new set of pegs on that side of the ice. Saw it a couple of times with Grand Forks teams down here against Davies and also South Shanley. They'll draw in the left circle of the Fargo Davies zone. Puck comes out to Risky on the right point. He sends one through traffic, deflected but wide. Philpott looking to pick up the loose puck back behind the net. Goes out in front, waving at it was Colton Bjerge. He couldn't get it on his stick cleanly. Works back to the near side. Sam Supis will chip off the glass for Davies, and this floats back into the Grand Forks Central zone. Kyle Fulton back to back check it for the Knights. He works off left side to Colton Bjerge. Bjerge up through the neutral zone, a chip off the wall. Easton Rarick back to pick it up behind his net for the Eagles. Comes out near side looking for Supis. It was too strong. Philpott corrals it on the right point. Backhands it down the wall, looking into the corner for support from Cole Barta. Barta and Philpott playing for the puck out of the corner. Works back to Supis for Davies on the left. He goes towards the far side of the ice on the right. Lost his man. Carson Caulfield picks it up, sends it back into the Davies zone. Rarick will pitchfork this up as far as the Grand Forks Central line, and then Caulfield waves right over the top of a puck trying to make a pass out towards the far wall. Dangerous spot momentarily for Grand Forks Central. Cole Barta looking to pick it up, but it's Bullinger that comes away. Bullinger short-sided chance. Elseth kicks the puck back into the slot. He made the save, but there was no one there for the Eagles. Otherwise, that would have been a grade A opportunity, and again set up on the turnover. Chase Spicer back on the ice trying to lead the first line back out there. A pass toward him was too strong. It goes loose back at center. Picked up near side by Landon Donner. He feeds Bullinger in a shot that goes wide. Right down the heart of the slot. Bullinger had a chance, but he ends up pushing it into the corner. Panzer picks it up off the wall. Backhands for Dylan Kuntz. Out towards the near side for Kennelly. Kennelly got knocked down looking for the puck. It comes off with Landon Donner for the Eagles. Donner coming back to the near side for Barwicki. Barwicki puts it up into the central zone. Dylan Kuntz got back to back check that. Here's Panzer rushing near side wall. In on his forehand side. Rebounded shot that knocked aside by Wimkin. Spicer went looking for the rebound. He got run down after the whistle. Not liking that was Joey Kennelly. He comes in, puts a couple of fists underneath Gunnar Barwicki's chin strap. And we've got a meeting of the minds going on just to the right of the goal. The officials will step in to separate it. They've taken exception to Chase Spicer hanging out and looking for rebounds a couple of times, and Spicer hasn't done anything dirty there. In fact, hasn't made any contact with Wimkin, but maybe the way he's coming to a stop is irritating some of the Eagles, and that time Spicer got pulled down for his efforts after the whistle, and that led to a little fraying of tempers, if you will. Job Fryer on the right side wall for Fargo Davies. It's 1-1 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. The Eagles and the Knights, 12:35 to play in the second period on our Hugo's Low scoreboard. Adam Arnold back, turned it over. Loose puck on the left side for Job Fryer, trying to make a crosser, lost it. Comes back to the point, comes out high on the high slot, turned it down the slot. Carson Singh was there to cut it off. Singh brings it back into the far boards, chipped aside by Balvich and turned over. Adam Arnold will pick it up, comes to Bryce Philpott, who will push it up into the Davies zone. That came on net. Wimkin trying to transition his team back up the ice. Comes off left side for Fryer, and now Easton Rarick weaving his way through the Knights. Adam Arnold took it off the skates. Rarick pays Arnold to visit up into the boards and got back to the puck. Sends it back behind the Grand Forks Central net. It rings wide to the far wall. Balvich coming in hard, trying to regain control. Instead, Ryan Wackenfuss comes away with a puck for Grand Forks Central. He'll come up the ice to Grishevsky on the right. A crossing pass for Brendan White over in the left circle. White a stop. He'll backhand it to Joe Risky, who has to back up into the neutral zone. to reclaim control of the puck. He feeds it down the near side wall. No one there but Eagles, as I believe Grashevsky was still offsides. It works back in to the high slot. Brendan White with a wrister, but that goes right into the feet of Ryan Grothman of Fargo Davies. Loose puck behind the net, turned over near side, driven in by Grashevsky. He'll take it back towards the far corner. Brings it up the wall to Kyle Fulton from the left point. Fulton got a shot away, but it whistles wide. Works back on the far side wall. Hunter Demers giving chase for the Eagles. They battle for control. Back to Grashevsky, left corner. Brendan White crashing the slot. Nobody home, though. Grashevsky has to turn it back to the point. Fulton back to Risky. His shot through traffic deflected wide by White. Anderson off the end wall, feeding Grashevsky with a backhand slide. Grashevsky got taken down. Loose puck picked up by Rarick. He goes into the wall for the Eagles. Comes back out to Balbich on the left side, but too strong for him. Risky will pick it up, and Anderson backhands it down the wall with some debris on the ice as someone broke a twig. 1-1 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. 10:45 to play in the second period. Panzer sends one down the wall. It'll ring back to Kennelly on the left wall. Back to Panzer out in front. Steps through a pair of defenders, but couldn't get a shot away. Cameron Bollinger with a good back check. Then he took a hit from Spicer that took Bollinger out of a glove. Bollinger gets up and pays a hit into Panzer on the right side wall. A clearing attempt cut off by Carson Caulfield on the high slot. Got a shot through traffic. Spicer picks up a rebound. Picks up another. Weaves back behind the net. Out on top, Kennelly. His shot held up. Caulfield with a blast that goes wide of the net and rings off the wall back to the point. Now Bollinger picks it up for Fargo Davies. He loses the puck at center ice, just left it behind. A pickup by Kennelly. Panzer in the slot. His shot goes right into the legs on Ashton Yeager. Panzer picks up the loose puck and then took a huge hit from Yeager that cleaned him out up in the air. Yeager with the biggest hit of the night. Davies will clear on an icing call, and we'll go back into the Eagles zone for a draw. Might have been the hardest hit that Panzer's taken all year. He's a bit undersized out there, and he took that shot from Yeager with a shoulder coming right into his sternum, and it just launched him up in the air and put him down. But a good flurry for Grand Forks Central on the shift. They come away empty. It's still 1-1. 18-14 shots on goal in favor of Grand Forks Central. Bjerge wins the draw. Comes off the wall to Carson Singh. Adam Arnold into an empty right corner. Philpott over to pick it up for Grand Forks Central. And Philpott skates it back towards the wall where it's cut down by Christian Kankelfritz for Fargo Davies. Correction, that was Hunter Demers for the Eagles. Works back to the left side. Seekerson putting it back behind the net. Barwicki was there as well. Loose puck right side, pulled in by Job Fryer. Fryer ends up losing the puck to Colton Bjerge behind the net. He'll feed it back to the right side. An attempt there for the Knights from Cole Barta. Barta coming back towards the right side, instead cut off by Seekerson. He'll chip off the glass. This spins towards the net, but will be an icing call against Davies. And we'll work back into the Davies zone for another draw. Tell you what, this has been a rapidly moving second period. A lot of flow. And again, something that's become kind of a pattern here in Fargo. Very few penalties. We've seen just one through nearly a period and a half of action tonight. Panzer wins a draw. Carson Singh for Grand Forks Central. From the point, it hit the post and didn't go across. Carson Singh hit the inside of the right post. It was on its way in and took a funny hop out. May have been redirected, but instead it goes as just a puck into the bar, and we continue playing a 1-1 tie. Loose puck picked up by Christian Kankelfritz for the Eagles. He plays it off left wall to Sam Supas. Supas will toss it down the ice into the near corner. Off the end wall for Carson Singh for Central. Backfeed it behind the net to Adam Arnold. Arnold out towards the near side for Wyatt. Correction, not for Walkenfoos. Wyatt Walkenfoos comes away with it. And Walkenfoos up into the far side wall. Walkenfoos trying to play it a rink wide. Instead deflected back. We've got Wyatt Peterson and Wyatt Walkenfoos both listed out there tonight. Peterson has been a defender throughout the course of the year. He's playing a forward position tonight. We haven't seen him as of yet. Landon Donner on the near side wall looking for Bollinger. Joe Risky takes that away, plays it off left side to Dominic Grashevsky. Here comes Central. Grashevsky stopping left point, puts in a whistler right there on the wrist shot and covered up by Trent Wimpkin for a whistle. Wimpkin's been good tonight. Grand Forks Central's built up a 21-14 shots on goal advantage, and that was after it was 12-12 at the end of a frame, but we're halfway through the second, still tied at 1 between Central and Fargo Davies on our Hugo's Low scoreboard. Landon Donner will come out to draw for the Eagles and wins it against Brendan White of Grand Forks Central. Keaton Schaff behind the net for the Eagles, coming back towards the near side. Puck goes into the neutral zone. Donner stepping through a hit to get to it. Kyle Fulton back on the back check for Central, plays it off the far wall. It's held in by Jackson Archibald. He goes looking for Cam Bullinger in the far corner. Brendan White with a chance. It's then flipped past the central net, cleared out by Risky as far as the half wall. Held in by Archibald, however. He turns it back towards his own point for Schaff. That's picked up, and Hunter Anderson comes away 2-on-1. He's got Krzyzewski on his left, takes the shot, and it's kicked away by Wimpkin. No pass there. Might have been better off to make the pass. He had a lot of opening. In the meantime, Archibald coming up the ice with a couple of jab checks, just trying to come free. Ends up losing the puck in the corner. Dylan Kuntz, great stretch pass. Hunter Anderson comes away with it. He'll make the pass to Spicer on his left. Spicer couldn't hold the puck, and Easton Rarick takes away a loose puck to send it back the other direction for the Eagles. Joe Pryor coming up the ice, feeding Hunter Demers in the corner. He and Braden Panzer meet simultaneously. Puck back checked by Kuntz, works to Spicer, and a crossing pass to Kennelly. Here comes Kennelly and Panzer 2-on-2. Kennelly the chance, and he scores! Joey Kennelly coming in on the right side point, out above the circle. He goes top shelf and over the shoulder on Trent Wimpkin for the second goal tonight, and Grand Forks Central has their first lead tonight. Kennelly's goal will make it 2-1 in favor of the Knights. The time of the goal will be at 9 minutes and 53 seconds of the second period. And we'll see if there's a helper on it at all. Kennelly kind of made a lot of that happen towards the end on his own, so we'll wait for the official scoring on it. But Central has their first lead this evening by a score of 2-1. Loose puck to Hunter Demers in the far corner. Kennelly does get credit for the goal, and there will be an assist for Chase Spicer on the play. So it'll be Kennelly from Spicer at 9:53, even strength to give the Knights their first lead tonight by a score of 2-1. Joey Kennelly has his 7th goal and his 14th point of the season, and Chase Spicer on the board with his second apple tonight. That will give him 13 helpers and 17 points on the year. Easton Rarick back for a puck for Fargo Davies, chipping off the far side glass. He found Balbich. It goes loose in the neutral zone. Philpott comes away with it for the Knights. It's played up the near side wall with Adam Arnold, and Arnold sends it towards the corner. A back check by Rarick sent it back into the neutral zone. This will be run down on the far side boards by Cole Barta on the left. Barta tried to send it down the wall, but it works out quickly. Joe Pryor up into the offensive end. He has Grothman on his right. Got a pass to Grothman. Grothman trying a backhanded shot that was deflected when Risky got there on a closure, along with Wyatt Walkenfuss getting to the spot. Risky behind the net for the Knights, comes to a snowplow stop. Redirects to Walkenfuss on the left wall. He'll break it out towards Spicer. Spicer took a hit on the end of this, and they're going to call icing. Spicer tried to get a piece, could not get a piece. He's claiming that he did. The officials say he didn't. It'll be offsides, and we're headed back into the Grand Forks Central zone for a draw with 5:44 left of the second period. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Atlas Auto in Grand Forks, Midtown on South Washington Street. Find your next vehicle at Atlas Auto and experience the Atlas Advantage. Both new and used vehicles at Atlas Auto. The Atlas Advantage, Atlas Auto on South Washington in Grand Forks. They draw in the central zone. It's picked up by Kyle Fulton for the Knights. Played off the far side boards. Brendan White trying to get a rush up the ice. Got around Skylar Seekerson, who was back step for step with him, and then it'll be pushed into the offensive end by Dominic Krzyzewski for Grand Forks Central. A turnover right in front of the net. Brendan White trying to get to it. Seekerson tried that pass across his own slot that almost always ends in a disaster. Sam Supis on the near side wall, bringing it back into the neutral zone. Risky was there on the checker line to get in touch with it. Hunter Anderson chipping up into the offensive end. He absorbed a hit. Brendan White was able to take the loose puck. He comes across the ice with a feed to Krzyzewski, but the puck came in too tight. He loses it between the wickets, and Christian Kankelfritz comes out for the Eagles. He'll rush as high as the high slot. Loses the puck into the far corner. Barwicki with a feed out in front. He had Supis there, but the pass was offline. It works back to the line. Ashton Yeager backing up on the puck. Works it back left side for Charlie Kretschmann. Kretschmann struggling for control, comes back towards the near edge. A look by Supis, little seeing eye pass for Donner, who took a hit through the neutral zone. And will be blasted down the wall by Jackson Archibald, where the Knights get back to the puck. Dylan Kuntz, long stretch pass, looking for Spicer. Spicer got a piece of it, so they wave off icing. Wimpkin will leave the crease to play this back behind his own net. Loose puck to Spicer, then he loses the puck to Cameron Bullinger. Bullinger trying to get around Dylan Kuntz, and we're going to see a penalty coming up against Dylan Kuntz for interference. The Eagles crowd knew it as well. I believe the call's going to be interference. We'll wait and see what the call's going to be. Dylan Kuntz was beaten on the play after the puck was played down the wall on the near side by Bullinger, and Kuntz put his hands in on Bullinger to try to hold him up. There may have been more to it as we're screened on that spot. The officials getting together to talk about it, And Dylan Kuntz is going into the box, but this may be more than just a simple penalty here. It will be Kuntz that will take the penalty, however. If he ran him into the wall, you could see a boarding call here. So we know who the party will be going into the box. Penalty will be at 12:41 of the period. Again, I did see the interference and expected the penalty. However, we may have not seen everything as that play came to the left wall. As Davies looks at it, the right wall, they may have gotten rid of Kuntz for the game. As they're going to go and get Carson Caulfield off the bench and bring him into the box as well. And only 3 Knights left on the ice, and Grant Paranika is furious, talking with the linesman across the ice, trying to figure out why it is he's only going to have 3 men on the ice for at least 2 minutes. So they've called 2 penalties here against Grand Forks Central. Caulfield goes in as well. Not sure if Central got caught with too many men on the ice away from that as well. If they were making a change. They haven't yet announced the penalties. The door is still open on the Central side of the penalty box. And now our linesman will come over and address the scorer's table. And they're going to talk the penalty over, and we'll have to wait to see what the announcement is going to be. But Grand Forks Central is going to be on the 5-on-3. They've got Kuntz for a minor, and they've got Caulfield for a minor. So simultaneous minor penalties against Grand Forks Central, and Fargo Davies has a 5-on-3 power play off the draw. Adam Arnold will clear one. We'll just have to wait for the announcement of the penalties, but Fargo Davies, a golden opportunity here, a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3, 2-man advantage after they came up empty on their opening power play tonight. Power play brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. Bullinger, near side wall, finding Ryan Grothman back out on top for Demers. Back to Grothman. Grothman taking a look, back out on top for Bullinger on the high slot, quarterbacking the play. It is interference on Kuntz. Bullinger is shot up over the crossbar. Rebound ends up over in the far corner. And it'll come back to Bullinger on the right point. So it's a roughing penalty on Caulfield. So Caulfield gets a roughing call. That may have been the extra action that we didn't see. So Caulfield for roughing. Kuntz does get an interference call, and apparently both at 12:41. Up top, Bullinger, a slap shot taken off the body by Panzer. What a big play by Braden Panzer to get rid of that shot by Bullinger, and it's cleared on the back end by Carson Sink. So a roughing call on Caulfield and an interference call on Dylan Kuntz. And Brendan White's up ice, causing some traffic delay for Fargo Davies as a 5-on-3 power play continues for the Eagles for another 40 seconds. But this is a 2 consecutive minute 5-on-3 power play and a very rare simultaneous minor penalties against 2 players for Grand Forks Central. Kyle Fulton back on the back check for the Knights, sending the puck up the near side boards, and now we've got a whistle and a hand pass coming up against the Eagles. It looks like we're headed back into the Davies zone for a draw with only 28 seconds left of the 2-man advantage. Central leading by a score of 2-1 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. But double, or actually not a double minor, but 2 minor penalties called against Dylan Kuntz and Carson Caulfield. Kuntz for interference, Caulfield for roughing, and both at 12:41, and that's what obviously Grant Paranika was furious with. You'd figure that at least, unless it's a pure coincidence, one would happen before the other. But in the end, they got both of those penalties, and it led to 2 men going into the box for Central. Down to 10 seconds left, though, of this 5-on-3, and only really one quality opportunity for Fargo Davies out of it. Job Fryer back behind the net, cycles out to Gavin Balvich on the right side wall. Balvich taking a look back to Fryer in the left corner. He tries to feed. Ricochet. Balvich's shot that goes wide. There was a good opportunity there. Kobe Elseth digging for a loose puck, and then Joe Risky came in, put a little hit on after the whistle on Job Fryer. Fryer threw a little bit of a left jab, and it looks like Job Fryer's on his way to the box. So they're going to get not Joe Fryer. Well, yeah, it is Joe Fryer. Apologies. Fryer's going to go in. He threw a punch in that sequence. They're going to put him in the box. We'll see if Central's now going to skate with a power play or if that was after a whistle. So the 5-on-3 comes to an end unscathed, and it is going to give Grand Forks Central an opportunity on the power play. 12:47 mark, correction, 14:47 mark. Fryer's going to get a penalty. Should be roughing, and that's what it is. Joe Fryer for roughing. Time of the penalty will be at 14:47, and the Knights will skate. on the RBB Electric Power Play. Brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. Puck in the corner, comes off with Chase Spicer to Dylan Kuntz. Back to Spicer on the half wall, down to the corner looking for Panzer. Panzer took a hit. Puck comes back to the point. Kuntz in the high slot, taking a look. Back to the right circle for Spicer. Panzer, feed out on top for Brendan White, deflected. Panzer gets it back, works back to Kuntz in the high slot again. Kuntz stepping away, back to Spicer on the right with Panzer on the right point. Spicer down to the doorstep, had one drift off the stick, and Trent Wimpkin will cover it up and hold for a whistle. Intermission report, we'll take a look at some scores coming in. East Grand Forks and Red River playing at Eagles Arena back in Grand Forks in high school hockey tonight. And the Red River Central basketball series going on. All of those games were led by Red River. At our first report, puck into the right corner off the draw, Panzer. The Knights still on the power play for another minute and 20 seconds. Puck comes loose at the near side wall. It'll be cleared by Fargo Davies. The clearing play coming from Hunter Demers and ends up back behind the Grand Forks Central net. Kuntz is back with it. Takes a look as Jackson Archibald runs some interference. Now Demers coming in as well. He'll chase Panzer into the far corner, and Chase Spicer got tripped up. Here comes another penalty coming up against Fargo Davies. Spicer reaching back for a puck. Took a stick across the feet. Jackson Archibald knows it. Archibald will go in for tripping, and it's going to be 5-on-3 for the Knights for a minute and 3 seconds. Archibald goes in for tripping. The time of the penalty will be at 15 minutes and 44 seconds of the second period. And so the Knights, leading by a score of 2-1, are now going to go on the 5-on-3 two-man advantage themselves for a minute and 3 seconds that will nearly close out the second period. Loose puck to Bryce Philpott off the draw. He works to Carson Caulfield. Carson Singh on the left side. Back to Caulfield. Singh again, left circle. Singh takes a look. Toe step on top. A little deflection on a pass coming in towards Adam Arnold, who stepped into the crease. Easton Rarick puts him down on the ice. Puck was loose, but we'll see a whistle with 48 seconds left to 5-on-3 and a minute and 1 second left to go in the period. The Knights will change up. Braden Panzer makes his way onto the ice along with Chase Spicer and Joey Kennelly. So you're going to see the first line for Central coming on the ice. And I would guess it's a 48-second shift for Grand Forks Central with this unit trying to get that third goal. We're into the final minute of the second period. Kennelly on the far side wall. Panzer in the left corner picks up the puck. 5-on-3 power play continues for Central. Panzer on top. Brendan White at his back to the net. Pulls it back out to Chase Spicer. Spicer, Panzer again. Back to Spicer on the top of the right circle. Dylan Kuntz, left circle. Touch pass down low. Kennelly, he puts it in and scores! Joey Kennelly carries it in. Short-sided attempt on the stick side. And he weaves it in on Trent Wimpkin. The 5-on-3 pays dividends. Joey Kennelly has his second goal of the period. And the Knights will take a 3-1 lead. Time of the goal will be at 16 minutes and 20 seconds of the second period, and it's a 5-on-3 power play goal for Grand Forks Central, and Joey Kennelly gives his team a 2-goal advantage by a score of 3-1. And the power play continues. Grand Forks Central on a 5-on-4 power play now with another minute and 10 seconds left on the power play clock. Brendan White coming to a stop on the left point. He goes across the ice to Kennelly. It's pulled in by Dylan Kuntz on the right point. 20 seconds to go in the second period. Puck down to Spicer in the right corner. Believe they're giving an assist to Spicer on that goal. Kuntz with a drive. Rebounded puck. Kennelly scores! Joey Kennelly has the natural hat trick. The shot from Kuntz in the high slot. It's kicked aside by Wimpkin. Joey Kennelly gobbles up the rebound, and it's a natural hat trick for Joey Kennelly as he scores 3 times in the second period. Both of Kennelly's latest goals will be power play goals. That was on the 5-on-4. The time of that goal will be at 16 minutes and 48 seconds. Kennelly's goals just 28 seconds apart. And the Knights now lead by a score of 4-1 over Fargo Davies. So Kennelly picks up the hat trick. There will be an assist for Brendan White on that goal. And Dylan Kuntz will pick up an assist as well. So it's Kennelly from White and Kuntz on the power play at 16:48. Kennelly from Spicer at 16:20 on the 2-man power play. And Kennelly from Spicer at 9:53 even strength. Grand Forks Central gets 3 goals in the second period from Joey Kennelly. And the Knights will take a 4-1 lead going into the third period. The game-changing complexion on a dime from a tight race to a big lead for Central in just the final minute, really the final 40 seconds of that second period of play. And that's going to take us to our second intermission report tonight, brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. After 2 on the Hugo's Low scoreboard, it's Central 4, Fargo Davies 1. This is high school.
Set of collection for online payments and even deliver your products packaged and ready to go. Email her today, Twyla@justgopromo.com, or call 388-4852. Go Promo. Consider it branded. Whether you are looking to refinance your current mortgage and save or purchase a new home, Sean Carlson with Town & Country Credit Union can help. With over 15 years of mortgage experience, he is an expert on VA, FHA, USDA, first-time home buyer, and conventional home loans and can help determine the best loan product to fit your needs. His borrowers agree, saying, Sean was a pleasure to work with and made the entire mortgage process easy. I highly recommend him. Ready to check out how Sean and Town & Country Credit Union can help make your financial life easy? Stop by one of our 6 convenient Fargo, West Fargo locations or visit townandcountry.org today. From free checking accounts to auto loans to commercial and ag loans and, of course, home loans, Town & Country Credit Union has the low loan rates, flexible terms, low fees, and personal service you deserve. See for yourself how much you might save. Apply online today at townandcountry.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, the game of hockey, sometimes it can change on a dime. This was a tight matchup between Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central through almost all of the second period of play, and then in 28 seconds, we see Joey Kennelly complete a natural hat trick of the second period, and he ends up scoring 2 goals in a 28-second span. One on the 5-on-3, one on the 5-on-4 advantage, and both that turned this game into a big lead for Grand Forks Central. We welcome you back to Farmers Union Insurance Center, where after 2 periods of play tonight, your score is Grand Forks Central 4 and Fargo Davies 1. Applegren Construction Intermission Report. It's brought to you by Applegren Construction. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. If you're looking for your first home or your forever home or just your next home, new construction more attainable than ever after we've seen these historically low interest rates that have put your dollar to better work for you. Your buying power has never been greater, and Applegren Construction wants to make sure that you want the house, you find the house that will be yours and not someone else's. Remember, you buy someone else's house knowing that you've got some projects to finish up, more of your hard-earned money goes out the door. Applegren Construction will give you a house that's finished and ready for you with all of what you're looking for. You take control of the project. You choose the cabinetry, the countertops, the lighting, the flooring, the appliances that go in. That's right, it's a complete makeover for you when you're going into new construction. And again, prices that are very affordable with your buying power now being more than it ever has been. Give a call to Applegren Construction, or you can look them up online and find out what they've done for others. applegrenhomes.com. That's applegrenhomes.com. They bring you our intermission report. Joey Kennelly on the board 3 times in the second period. You don't see natural hat tricks very often, but it happens tonight. Game was a 1-1 matchup through the balance, at least through the first half and then some of the second period, before Joey Kennelly comes up with his first goal of the night. And Chase Spicer with 3 points on the night now, as well as he helps out on 2 of Joey Kennelly's goals in that second period. He set up Braden Panzer back in the first, but Joey Kennelly with an opportunity at 9:53. That gave Grand Forks Central their first lead of the night by a score of 2-1. And then we saw some really interesting things happen down the stretch. First of all, a 5-on-3 full 2-minute power play for Fargo Davies when Dylan Kuntz was called for interference and Carson Caulfield was called for roughing. Both of those came at 12:41 of the second period. And so Central's down 2 men for a full 2 minutes. But again, the penalty kill for Grand Forks Central very good tonight, including Braden Panzer taking a shot off the ribcage again. He's been going down to eat pucks off the body throughout this stretch for Grand Forks Central. There was an opportunity for Cameron Bullinger from the high slot, but that opportunity was eaten up by Panzer, sacrificing the body. Then we see a penalty at 14:47 against Fargo Davies as we saw Joe Fryer get hit for a roughing call. Fryer came in with a little bit of a jab on Joe Risky after a whistle, and that put Fryer in the box for roughing. And then just about a minute later, Jackson Archibald, trying to catch up to Chase Spicer, ends up tripping up Spicer with a stick coming across the legs. Now it's 5-on-3 for Grand Forks Central. The first one, Joey Kennelly. He got one stick side, just kind of coming in short-sided, weaved his way in from the corner, got really close to the pipe. That's just one that he was able to wiggle through on Trent Wimkin. His second goal of the period, the third for Grand Forks Central tonight. That was also assisted by Chase Spicer on the 5-on-3 two-man power play. Came at 16:20 of the second period. That made it 3-1 Central. And then 28 seconds later, Brendan White with a shot that came from the slot. It was kicked aside by Wimkin, but there was a rebound there, and Kennelly was just waiting on that right pipe for a rebound. And his third of the period for Kennelly comes on gobbling up a rebound from Brendan White's shot. He put it in. Dylan Kuntz set up that play as well. So Kennelly's third goal from White and Kuntz on the 5-on-4 power play is again the 5-on-3 turned into 5-on-4 after Kennelly's power play goal, but he scores another power play goal 28 seconds later. The two goals at 16:20 and 16:48. Kennelly's third of the period. He has the natural hat trick. And the Knights go from a 2-1 battle with Fargo Davies to a 4-1 lead going into the third period tonight. So again, just a very quick stop on a dime, and the game changes complexion. And Grand Forks Central now has a 3-goal lead in this one against Fargo Davies on the road tonight. That is your intermission summary, and it's brought to you by Applegren Construction, building homes around what truly matters. You can find them online at applegrenhomes.com. That's applegrenhomes.com. When we come back, we'll check out our Hugo's Low scoreboard. Red River's built up a pretty impressive lead over East Grand Forks tonight. That one going on at Eagles Arena, and we'll check up with basketball between Central and Red River as well. This is high school hockey on Magnitude Sports at Fargo and on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
You can capture the moments and memories of this game and all of our past sports broadcasts on DVD. It makes a great gift for a parent, relative, son, or daughter. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks for standard delivery. Place your order now, quickly and easily at msportsnet.com/DVD. Magnitude Sports would like to remind you that whether you're watching from home or watching from the stands, to please respect officials. Without high school officials, games are canceled and players lose playing time. Contact your local high school to find out how you can become an official and stay connected to the game you love.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Through 2 periods of play tonight, Our Applegreen Construction intermission report continues. It is a 4-1 lead for Grand Forks Central as the Knights scored 2 goals from Joey Kennelly in a 28-second span. Both on the power play, one on a 5-on-3, the other on a 5-on-4, after the 5-on-3 ended due to a 2-man advantage goal for Kennelly, and Joey Kennelly scoring the natural hat trick in the second period with 3 second period goals to give the Knights a 4-1 lead. Applegreen Construction brings you our intermission report, and it's brought to you by applegreenhomes.com. That's applegreenhomes.com and Applegreen Construction. Find out what they can do for you by logging on to their website. And remember, financing for a new construction project does not have to be as scary as you believe it to be. Applegreen Construction works with a number of lenders in the northern Red River Valley to make your new construction attainable. And what we mean by that is they can turn it into something that looks like a very traditional mortgage, just like someone who would be buying a new home, but not a new home, someone else's home. Applegreen Construction, building homes around what truly matters. Don't let the financing scare you. Reach out, find out how attainable new construction can be at applegreenhomes.com. By the way, in the scoring summary for Joey Kennelly with those 3 goals in the period, Kennelly now moves his total to 9 goals on the season and 16 points. He actually ties Braden Panzer for the team leading scoring goals now. And Chase Spicer with 3 assists tonight will run his total out to 14. He now has 18 points on the season, which catches Braden Panzer for the team lead in scoring. Brendan White as well picking up an assist on that 3rd goal for Joey Kennelly, his 2nd assist, 5th point. And Dylan Kuntz with his 1st point of the year on that assist for Joey Kennelly's 2nd power play goal in the 3rd period. Hugo's Low scoreboard update. Up in Grand Forks tonight, it's now 5-0 Red River halfway through the 2nd period on East Grand Forks. So right now, Grand Forks Red River with a big lead on East Grand Forks. That's at the end of 2. It's now 5-1 in favor of Grand Forks Red River. So East Grand Forks has gotten on the board for the first time tonight in that matchup. So watching that one closely. Also, one final is in basketball tonight. Red River with an 81-57 win over Grand Forks Central in girls buckets tonight. So the Rough Riders remain unbeaten against North Dakota competition with that win downtown against Central tonight. No update on the boys game as of yet. At the half, it was a 15-point lead for Red River. Other scores, Central Cass and Grafton. They're going to go to overtime out in Castleton tonight. That game is 42-42. Central Cass and Grafton, top 10 matchup. Grafton's ranked 3rd. Central Cass is ranked 9th. And those 2 teams are battling it out in Castleton this evening. And that game is 42-42 as they go to the extra frame. 4 wins Minnewacan with a lead at the end of a quarter over Hillsborough Central Valley. Did we see that right? 20-1? Ouch. 4 wins Minnewacan's got a pretty good team this year. And Hillsborough Central Valley might be struggling just a little bit in boys basketball this season. So those are a couple of scores that we have coming in from around the area. It looks as though we have a final in boys basketball tonight as well. Fargo Davies beats Fargo South 76-75. No, correction, that's an old score. Apologies. That is an old score. Apologize for that. Let's see if we click a button here, if maybe we can see something a little bit more updated. West Fargo over Wahpeton, 69-30 girls basketball tonight. That's a score that we can pass along to you. That is new. And in girls hockey, Bismarck leads Mandan by a score of 3-0. 4 wins Minnewacan wins against Hillsborough Central Valley tonight by a score of 65-40. So some of the scores in the Hugo's Low scoreboard here. It is 4-1. Grand Forks Red River, Grand Forks Central, now leading Fargo Davies by a 3-goal margin after a natural hat trick came in the 2nd period for Joey Kennelly. And we get ready to go to the 3rd period of play. So how Fargo Davies will respond will be an interesting thing to watch. This game was tight, really, really close. It was a good 2-1 battle. 1-1 halfway through the second. Central took the lead on Joey Kennelly's 1st goal, but then 2 goals on the power play in 28 seconds time turned it into a 4-1 battle. By the way, Bob Gillen from IndyHighSchoolHockey.com tells us that after 2 periods of play out west tonight, Jamestown and Minot are tied at 3. periods. Jamestown and Minot tied at 3 after 2 periods in the battle of the two top teams in the WDA tonight. Carson Caulfield with a blast for Central from the left point as we start the third period, with the Knights moving from right to left. Caulfield back-to-back, check on his own line now. Kennelly making a touch pass for Panzer. It works back to Caulfield loose. Caulfield turns it over at center ice. This is brought in by Landon Donner. Tried to get a shot away. Panzer took that one off the body. Puck will float back towards the far side wall. Panzer played it out. Kennelly knocked it down. Then a blast from the point that came in from, I believe, Gunnar Barwicki. And there's Colby Elseth to make a glove save on it and holds for the whistle. Shots on goal are 27-15 after that shot from Fargo Davies, and it was 12-12 at the end of the first period tonight. So Fargo Davies only managed 3 shots on goal since the end of the opening period, and that was with 2 full minutes of a 5-on-3 2-man advantage in the second period. So Central really ramped up their energy in that second period of play. They didn't get a lot to show for it until the very end of the period, but they made some things happen defensively, made some adjustments. Hunter Anderson near side for Grand Forks Central along the wall. Looks down towards the corner. It's knocked away. Gavin Balvich will come away with the puck for the Eagles. Balvich trying to rush out on the far boards, dumps it into the corner. Adam Arnold back to chase it, but Balvich stays with the puck back behind the Central net. Be touched up by Brendan White to Dominic Gershevsky. Backhanded play into the neutral zone for Hunter Anderson. Easton Rarick is back for Fargo Davies. That was going to be a one-on-one foot race, so Trent Limkin comes out of the slot, actually out of the crease, to play the puck himself. It's turned over on the far wall. Elijah Hayes getting out on the ice for the first time tonight for Fargo Davies on that shift. Puck comes loose to the near side boards. Joe Risky holds it back in the offensive end. Sam Supis with a touch as it rings up the left wall for Davies. Then it's knocked back into the corner. Braden Panzer, correction. That was actually Colton Bjerge that was chasing after it. Skating a lot like Panzer in that sequence. It goes back to Risky in the near corner. Risky trying to drive in. He took a couple of hits and ends up going down on the ice. The second came from Ben Calise, who's had an opportunity to skate a little bit more since the end of the opening period. Shot from the near side wall by Cole Barta. That'll be stopped by Wimkin. He gloves it for the whistle with 14:57 left of the third. Timeouts brought to you tonight by Lake Region State College in Devils Lake. Lake Region State College, whether it's precision agriculture or law enforcement, Lake Region State College is training the next generation of North Dakotans. Find out more at lrsc.edu. That's lrsc.edu. Puck to Charlie Crutchman on the near wall for Fargo Davies. Out of the neutral zone, Caulfield spinning it up into the offensive end, and that will bring Central offside. Will come out onto the Davies line for a draw with 14:45 left in the third. A 4-1 lead for Central. Actually, they're going to bring this back to center ice and put it down there, so that would indicate it was not offside. Did not see what the issue was. That will bring us to another draw, but nonetheless, Wyatt Walkenfuss beaten on the draw that time. The draw taken by Ryan Grothman for Fargo Davies. This ends up out in front of the net off a funny hop off the wall. Colby Elseth went out of the crease to play it, left the net wide open, then it came out in front of the net, but nobody home for Fargo Davies. Bryce Philpott will bring it up into the offensive end for Grand Forks Central. Works into the far side corner. Grothman over to cut it off, and then stepping over it was Gunnar Barwicki, who got a start defensively tonight, and that was a bit of a late change coming from Fargo Davies. Both teams were a little late getting us their line sheets today for the game that was coming up this evening, and that may indicate that both Coach Metcalf and Coach Paranika were laboring over some changes that were going to be made. They weren't quite sure where they were going to come from. Carson Singh with a loose puck at center ice. He'll dump it back into the Fargo Davies zone. Seekerson back to get it for the Eagles. Seekerson weaving around Chase Spicer on the near side boards. Goes rink wide to Cameron Bullinger on the left, who dumps it back behind the Central net. So ring back out to the near side, goes loose to the top of the circle. Bullinger backhands it towards the crease. A quick turn and fire, but not a lot of that puck was gained on the shot by Jackson Archibald. He came over the top of it and left a wrister with a little bit more to be had. The puck goes into the corner, and a whistle coming up. A puck was played with a high stick perhaps by Central. And it looks like we're going to draw coming up in the ninth zone with 13:35 left of the second. News Radio 1310 KNOX AM Grand Forks, 107.9 KNOX FM, translating on K300BG in Grand Forks. Puck on the near side with Adam Arnold for Grand Forks Central. Chip it off the wall. Spicer in the neutral zone. This is knocked back into the central end, and then Carson Singh comes up with it. Plays it out towards the right where it's picked up. And Chase Spicer trying to take a feed from Joey Kennelly. Kennelly did everything he could to drag himself around Easton Rarick and somehow found a way around Easton Rarick. Made a crossing pass to Spicer, but it was too strong. Clearing attempt comes out in the neutral zone for Adam Arnold. He'll play it back down the near side wall. Wimkin will touch it up outside his crease. Puck floats over towards the far boards. Bollinger trying to get to it. He's fronted by Kennelly, and Spicer lurking near the net as well. Puck will be turned out towards the near side, taken there by Landon Donner for the Eagles. Donner comes up on the right, has a poke check loose by Kyle Fulton. Loose puck to Brendan White on a change, and White pulls around a defender for Central, gets up in the offensive end, and then backhand steers one towards the net. Hunter Anderson being chased by Rarick. Anderson stops it up along the wall. 2-on-2 battle with Demers joining the fray there. Brendan White chips it out. It works back to Fulton on the point. Back down the wall to White, who got taken down from behind by Demers. Shot from a tough angle near side from Dominic Gershevsky. Wimkin takes it off the side, sends it into the corner, and the Eagles will clear this back to the neutral zone. Icing is the indicator, and it will be called as the Eagles ice the puck down the near wall, and we'll come back into the Fargo Davies zone for a draw. 12:15 left to go with the third. Again tomorrow, Grand Forks Central Knights wrestling. The Knights will be on the road to go up against the Fargo Davies Eagles. We'll have it for you both here on Magnitude and KNOX. It's an opportunity. We try to get one wrestling duel in for Central a year, and this year with coronavirus, it's been very difficult to find the right setup, but tomorrow will be on a triangular that goes on at Fargo North, and we'll bring you the Davies Central part of that, which is the first duel scheduled for an 11 o'clock start tomorrow morning. Then we'll be back at East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena for the Knights in hockey against East Grand Forks, who are having a tough time of it with Red River tonight over at Eagles Arena in Grand Forks. Sam Supis with a play for Davies, got it out into the neutral zone. Carson Caulfield will send it down to the near corner for the Knights. Wimkin touches it up, then had some trouble coming from the back end. He had to transition it out. It's ripped away by Colton Bjerge, taken from Supis. Bjerge trying to play for the loose puck on the bottom of the circle, turned and fired, missed it. Then a chance by Gershevsky, he waved on it. Supis comes away with it and got out-dueled by Bjerge again, who picks the puck clean and sends it back into the offensive zone. Ashton Yeager over to cut it off. He delivered the big hit of the night, really planted Braden Panzer back in that second period. Caulfield left point, shot deflected wide by Wimkin. Puck comes down on top of the Dashers' left boards, and then back to Cameron Bollinger, who comes up ice 2-on-2 with Jackson Archibald. It's Bollinger into the far corner, got turned aside on a hit from Dylan Kuntz. Then Kuntz got wiped out by Landon Donner. This Davies team, when they get physical, they can really plant some players on the ice. And that one was a good hit by Donner that took down Dylan Kuntz, who's as tough as nails. Out to the point, the puck turned loose from Gunnar Barwicki, 2-on-1. Up the ice, it's Philpott taking a crossing pass from Bjerge, and the puck was chipped just wide. Bjerge stays with it. He'll turn it away from Barwicki, then it floats out to the blue line. Bollinger will take it for Fargo Davies and tosses one deep into the Grand Forks Central zone. Elseth out of the crease to play it back near side. Seekerson off the wall, put one into traffic. Rebound was out in front. It was lost by Elseth, but cleaned up by Carson Singh, who got there just in time to bring this puck back out to center ice. Brendan White on the right side for the Knights, crossing pass. He finds Singh joining the play out of the neutral zone. Singh a shot from long range, deflected wide by Wyatt Walkenfoos. He chases the puck back behind the net. Rebound jab by Brendan White, then Walkenfoos the loose puck. Out to Adam Arnold on the right point. Walkenfoos gets steered aside in the far corner. Big hit laid in by Elijah Hayes. Loose puck comes out to Barwicki, and here comes Balvich. All by himself, he fires and it goes wide of the net. Adam Arnold got in to join the chase and may have got a piece of that coming in from the backside, but for a moment it was Balvich all alone. Easton Rarick in the far corner, and we'll see a whistle as Central's net comes off its pegs again. Clock will halt with 9:48 left in the third period. 4-1 Grand Forks Central with a 3-goal lead on the Hugo's Low scoreboard. Joey Kennelly with a natural hat trick in the second period tonight. And Joey Kennelly scoring his second, third, or actually the second, third, and fourth goals for Grand Forks Central. The final two on power plays. Off a draw, Jackson Archibald sends one wide to the net. It comes loose to the right side boards. Kyle Fulton over to Joe Risky for Grand Forks Central. Risky cut off by Archibald. It's Doug Ford on the wall. Sent back by Archibald from Landon Donner off the boards, then lost. Kennelly comes away with it. Up to Spicer trying to get in the offensive end. Panzer picks up a loose puck and fires. It's kicked aside. Kennelly went looking for the rebound, finds it, sends it back out to the high slot. Risky's there. Down to Spicer in the right circle. Crossing pass to Fulton. Fulton looking towards the corner on a redirect. Kennelly had to go by him. Picked up by Panzer off the left wall. Back to Fulton on the point. Risky crossing pass again. Panzer with a shot. Rebounded off Wimkin out on top in the hash marks. And a couple of Knights were there, but neither could get a piece of it. Finally, Bollinger clears the puck for Davies, coming out as far as the checker line and getting it back into the central end. Risky will play it off the far side boards. Great touch pass by Hunter Anderson. Transitioning Panzer back up ice. He's up with Spicer. Spicer with a drive on a one-timer and sends it just wide of the net. Didn't get all of it anyway. And a quick rejoin by Hunter Anderson. It turned into a 3-on-1 odd man. Davies fortunate to get out of that without giving up a goal. Loose puck in the far corner. Elijah Hayes. Actually, Ben Calise stepping back to it on the far wall. Calise has it go loose. Supis will pick it up. Comes back to the near side for Christian Kankel-Fritz. And back up for Ryan Grothman for Fargo Davies in the offensive end. Grothman couldn't handle it. Rink-wide pass for Central trying to get up ice. A swipe by Barwicki to keep the flow going for Davies in the offensive end. Chipped off the wall by Grishevsky. Brendan White a behind-the-back pass to Anderson. Anderson stops. It's joined by Grishevsky. Then he puts a hit in and knocks down Barwicki. And here's a hit from Brendan White that sends Easton Rarick into the corner. Puck on the right point. Rarick will pick it back up. Pitchforks this out towards the checkered line. It flops right at center ice. Picked aside by Carson Caulfield. He'll steer it to the near side wall. Cole Barta comes up in the offensive end, and Barwicki takes that away for Fargo Davies. A stretch pass towards the right side. They're able to transition out with Elijah Hayes. Now it's Balvich on a short-sided shot. Very steep angle. Kicked away by Cole Bielset. Puck goes loose to the wall. Rarick looking to dig for it. Steps between a couple of defenders. Loose puck to Balvich again. Steep-sided shot. Ends up hitting the side of the cage with the puck. It goes loose to the wall. Taken there by Hunter Demers and out to the point where it's held in by Keaton Schaff. Schaff with a chance and a wrist direction. Elijah Hayes with a chip out on top of the crease. Chipped it just wide. That was a good chance for Davies, and Elijah Hayes was just off putting the blade of the stick on top of that. Dylan Kuntz tries to clear. Schaff holds it in for the Eagles, sends it back towards the corner. Hayes with a touch, ringing it back towards the far corner. Rarick runs into Cole Barta. Neither skater gives ground. Carson Caulfield looking for a loose puck. It's picked up short-sided, and Elset just goes down and covers this up, and now Dylan Kuntz shoving Landon Donner. Donner comes in with a shove. Elijah Hayes is in the mix as well. Easton Rarick's in there somewhere. They'll separate that mess and bring them away from the net with less than 7 minutes to play in the third period. Central with a 4-1 lead, a natural hat trick in the second period for Joey Kennelly. Those are the second, third, and fourth goals of the night for the Knights. Shots on goal advantage of 32-19 for Grand Forks Central. A bit of extra energy in that second period, and that's made all the difference, but this game was 2-1 until the 16:20 mark of the second period, 1-1 until the nearly 10-minute mark of the second period. So this was a good matchup until some things just went wrong for Fargo Davies, and all in short order in that second period tonight. Kennelly bringing a puck back into the corner. Plays it back out to the near side for Carson Singh for the Knights. He goes into the neutral zone, and here comes Kennelly and Panzer, 2-on-2. Kennelly making the feed to Spicer, left side, back to Panzer, and he scores! Tic-tac-toe, pretty play. Kennelly to Spicer. Spicer lures in a defender, finds Panzer on the doorstep, and Panzer with a touch to beat Trent Wimpkin. The entire first line gets in on it. Panzer's second goal of the night, and it's 5-1 Grand Forks Central. The time of the goal will be at 10 minutes and 37 seconds of the second period. And for Braden Panzer, his second goal tonight. But Spicer and Kennelly will pick up the helpers. That's 3 more points for that first line as we get the official scoring on it. But that's as pretty of a passing play as you're going to see. Braden Panzer's second goal tonight. That gives him 10 goals on the season, 19 points. And they do give the assists out to Spicer and Kennelly at 10:37 of the second period. So now it's a 4-point night for Spicer on 4 assists. It's a 4-point night for Kennelly on 3 goals and an assist. And Braden Panzer has scored 2 goals tonight. And the first line getting it done for Grand Forks Central again. And an icing call against Davies will bring us back into the Davies zone for a draw with 6:03 remaining in period number 2. The Knights looking to grab 3 points in the EDC, and with the win, they would move back into first place. We'll give you a full rundown of the standings coming up. We're still watching that matchup out west between Minot and Jamestown, which is a 3-3 tie after 2. Both teams with 22 points and tied for first place in the WDA. So we could have new leaders. Well, we'll definitely have a new leader in the west after the night comes to an end. We may have a new leader here in the east as well. Risky to Kyle Fulton after a rush by Fargo Davies. Fulton bringing it out towards the near side wall. Got tied up with Cade Lindstedt. He ends up losing the puck on the boards. It works back towards the corner into a 2-on-2 fray there. held in by Sam Supis for Fargo Davies. Supis puts it into the corner. It turned risky around, looking for the loose puck. Then a collision by Dylan Kuntz, and Kuntz is able to bring it out. Philpott on the right side for Central. Dumps it down the left side wall. Wimpkin will hold this outside of the crease while Central changes up with 5 minutes and counting to go. Easton Rarick trying to jump around a defender. Hunter Anderson stepped in front of him. Anderson comes to a pause on his own line on a nice little pirouetté turn. Brendan White feeding Anderson coming out of the neutral zone. This will be covered by Wimpkin as Anderson was looking for Grishevsky on the doorstep and couldn't find him. Clock under 5 minutes left now at 4:59 and counting. See if we can get those standings up in front of us, and we'll have to check the schedule as well. I'm not sure if Fargo South was playing tonight, but South came into the night with a 1-point advantage over Red River, 2 over Central, and Red River's not playing in the league tonight against East Grand Forks, so we'll update you on that. Anderson, a bump off the boards, and a blast from Landon Donner from the left point. Donner tries to chase down the miss with Hunter Anderson in on him as well in the far corner. They dig and look, and the puck is batted away on the near side by Dylan Kuntz. Comes off to the right side, played back in by Charlie Crutchman for Fargo Davies. Dylan Kuntz turning him around. Anderson up the far side wall, plays it out to center for Grishevsky. He's one-on-one with Crutchman, but the rest of the crowd catches up. Brendan White trying to bring it up in the offensive end. Crutchman cut it off. Pitchforks it up into the neutral zone. It goes loose. Taken up by Grishevsky, who moves out towards the right. Now steps into the offensive end. Tried a wrister, put it right into Crutchman's leg pads. Loose puck behind the net being dug for with Ben Calise stepping in to deliver a hit. It works off to Bullinger for Fargo Davies, and Bullinger has a poke checked aside by Colton Durkee. Crutchman coming out towards the right for the Eagles. Got it out near the point, was overskated by Philpott as it approached the neutral zone. Adam Arnold will send it back up into the offensive end. Calise is there to follow it. And a puck that went out of play is going to bring us out for a draw. And it looks like they're going to bring it back to the Grand Forks Central line for that draw. I'll look at the schedule tonight. As far as East Region play was concerned, Grand Forks, or rather Fargo South, was idle. So with Fargo South idle tonight, Central holds on for a win here. They'll move into first place by a point over Fargo South Shanley with Game 2 of that series coming up later on this season. And Fargo Davies going to stay at 12 points tonight without a massive comeback here. And boy, that's a situation for Davies where they're going to feel a little snake bit here. They're going to go 0-4 to start the season against Central, South Shanley, and Red River. 0-2 against Central. They were beaten 2-0 in a shutout by South Shanley back on Tuesday. Lost that game in overtime against Red River. So in 4 games against these other 3 top teams in the league, they'll take 1 point out of those 4 games and be 0-4 with an overtime loss. Puck on the left side, Christian Kankelfritz absorbs a hit into a 2-on-1 shot up over the crossbar. Came in hard, and he had a man, Keaton Schaap, on his right. Kankelfritz took the shot just a little offline. Kankelfritz stays with it on the near side wall. Dug it past Kennelly. Loose puck to Joe Risky, being chased into the corner by Elijah Hayes, who's really skated well as basically the 10th forward tonight after Barwicki was moved back to the blue line for his assignment this evening. Panzer, a crossing pass for Kennelly. Panzer, hitting the deck, is able to bring it back out. It comes to Kyle Fulton, and Fulton had to step back into the neutral zone to gather it up. Here's Balvich picking up a loose puck, driving in. His shot goes wide. This will ring back into the neutral zone for Spicer. Crossing pass to Panzer. He's got a 2-on-1 with Kennelly. Makes the pass to Kennelly. He fires and scores! The 4th goal tonight for Joey Kennelly. Panzer and Kennelly in an odd man, and a great pass by Panzer. Kennelly received it with a skate and then bangs one stick side on Trent Wimpkin. Joey Kennelly, a 4-goal night. Panzer gets a helper, and it's 6-1 Central. Time of the goal will be at 14 minutes and 42 seconds of the 3rd period, and Joey Kennelly having a big night tonight with Braden Panzer giving him the helper. Kennelly with 4 goals now in this season. That'll be 10 goals for Joey Kennelly. Panzer also has 10, so that first line just continues to get it done. And I'm just not sure you're going to find a better line anywhere in high school hockey this season in North Dakota. Those 3 men, Spicer, Panzer, and Kennelly, have got rhythm early in the year. Off the near side, the puck taken up on the point by Carson Caulfield, and then Caulfield just delivers a big hit. That's going to draw a penalty. He may get a cross-checking call here as he put Jackson Archibald on the ice. It's going to be Carson Caulfield going into the box. We'll just have to wait to see what the penalty is going to be. Second penalty tonight for Caulfield. It will be a cross-checking call on Caulfield. Time of the penalty will be at 15:08. So 15:08 of the third period. Caulfield goes in, and we'll see another RBB Electric power play for Fargo Davies. Brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online. RBBElectric.com. West Fargo with a victory tonight. They defeat Grafton 6-3. And so the Packers will get 3 points in the league. That will help their cause a little bit, looking for a postseason opportunity. Puck on the right side with Landon Donner for the Eagles. His blast kicked aside by traffic in front of the net. Philpott picks it up, sends it back out to the point where Seekerson hauls it down. Seekerson back into the corner, looking for an opportunity with Jackson Archibald. Archibald put it back behind the net. Out on top with Barwicki. Back to Seekerson. Seekerson a drive into traffic right in the slot again. Cameron Bollinger picks up a deflected puck. Carson Singh took it away. Glides the puck over to the far wall. Digging forward is Bollinger. He comes away 3-on-2. Backhanded flip. Tried to go top shelf. Put it up over the crossbar. 1:16 left of power play time for the Eagles. Barwicki into the empty corner right side. Comes off the boards. Archibald was there, made a blast of it. Kick saved by Colby Elseth, and a big save for Elseth. And finally the puck is cleared by Dominic Gershevsky. Best rush on the power play tonight for Fargo Davies near the end, as they had 2 minutes of 5-on-3 in the second period. They only got 3 shots in the entire second period. I think they only had 1 on the 5-on-3 two-man advantage that they enjoyed for 2 full minutes on simultaneous minor penalties against Dylan Kuntz and Carson Caulfield. 40 seconds left of the RBB Electric power play, but 30 seconds left of the game. Puck on the far side with Sam Supis for Fargo Davies. Out to the high slot, Charlie Crutchman back to Supis, top of the left circle. Supis tried to duck around a defender. It gets deflected to the wall. Picked up by Crutchman and put into the far side boards. Christian Kankelfritz picked up there. Kankelfritz turns away from Dylan Kuntz, steps his way into the circle. Had it poked away by Brendan White, and that will probably take care of the game. White flips it up the ice. Wimkin back behind the net to stop it. Sweeps it out to the near side. Down to 3, 2, 1, and Grand Forks Central will move into first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference standings tonight. A commanding finish to the game for Central, and a huge night for Joey Kennelly, who has the natural hat trick this evening and ends up scoring 4 times. 3 in the second period, along with the goal in the third. Braden Panzer with a couple of goals tonight, and Chase Spicer on the board with 4 assists this evening. And the Knights, after a tight start to this game was 2-1 Central. Into the final minute of the second period, the Knights go away with a 6-1 victory. Our Spray Advantage post-game report is on the way in just a couple of moments. We'll come back, review the scoring and the numbers, a Hugo's Low scoreboard update, and we'll wrap things up with our player awards. All of that as we continue here from Farmers Union Insurance Center in Fargo, North Dakota. The Knights win by a score of 6-1. This is high school hockey on Magnitude Sports and Central Knights hockey on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Van Dam Chiropractic is dedicated to helping you achieve your health goals and improving your quality of life. Dr. Van Dam provides the most comprehensive chiropractic and acupuncture care. Whether you're recovering from a sports injury, work-related injury, car accident, or just getting relief from chronic pain, Dr. Scott Van Dam will get you back on the road to good health. They look forward to serving you at Van Dam Chiropractic. Call them at 532-5320 or visit them online at vandamchiropractic.com. Go Promo is your go-to for custom apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and hundreds of other promotional products. Put your company logo on a t-shirt, jacket, calendar, mouse pad, pen, or even a backdrop display for an upcoming event. Possibilities are absolutely endless at justgopromo.com. You can also easily set up an online apparel store for your sports team or business. Email or call Twyla, and she'll set up the store, set up collection for online payments, and even deliver your products packaged and ready to go. Email her today, Twyla at justgopromo.com, or call 388-4852. Go Promo. Consider it branded. Whether you are looking to refinance your current mortgage and save or purchase a new home, Sean Carlson with Town & Country Credit Union can help. With over 15 years of mortgage experience, he is an expert on VA, FHA, USDA, first-time home buyer, and conventional home loans, and can help determine the best loan product to fit your needs. His borrowers agree, saying, Sean was a pleasure to work with and made the entire mortgage process easy. I highly recommend him. Ready to check out how Sean and Town and Country Credit Union can help make your financial life easy? Stop by one of our 6 convenient Fargo, West Fargo locations or visit townandcountry.org today. From free checking accounts to auto loans to commercial and ag loans and, of course, home loans, Town and Country Credit Union has the low loan rates, flexible terms, low fees, and personal service you deserve. See for yourself how much you might save. Apply online today at townandcountry.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It changed on a dime tonight here at Farmers Union Insurance Center. This was a very good matchup and the tight matchup that we expected up until the final minute of the second period where the game was just 2-1, and then 2 power play goals for Joey Kennelly just 28 seconds apart en route to a natural hat trick of the second period, and Kennelly and Panzer add goals in the third, and it turns into a score that looks a lot like a rout. 6-1 Grand Forks Central. As we go to our post-game report tonight on Magnitude Sports and on the Franson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. The Knights improved to 7-1 with a win over Fargo Davies tonight by a final score of 6-1. Fargo Davies will fall to 5-4 on the season. And again, the disappointing part for Fargo Davies, now 4 games against the other 3 teams in the East region that are expected to be right there when the dust settles. Fargo, Shanley, Red River, and then of course Central. They come out of that with 4 losses, 1 overtime loss. They get just 1 point out of those 4 games. That makes it difficult to climb their way back into the standings. However, that being said, they take care of themselves, pick up a win against either South Shanley or Red River in the back half and let those other teams beat themselves up. And Davies might take some steps back, but they'll have some pressure on them now for the remainder of the year. And West Fargo Cheyenne right there along with West Fargo picked up a win tonight. They're going to move up in the standings as well. Our post-game report is brought to you by Spray Advantage tonight. Everything you need for the spraying and application process on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and the others is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, and seed tenders, and they have 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Make Spray Advantage a part of your profitable agricultural season for this year and for years to come. Spray Advantage is ready to serve you in 2021. Game summary tonight. Fargo Davies got on the board first tonight. Cameron Bullinger coming up with a ram home of a rebounded puck that was sent in by Jackson Archibald. Great crossing pass by Archibald. Little contact was made with it by Colby Elseth, and then Bullinger knocks home the one-timer. Short-sided at 8:07 to make it 1-0 Fargo Davies, but that was the last time they get on the scoreboard tonight. In fact, only 3 shots in the second period despite 2 minutes of 5-on-3 power play time, so the offense really dropped off after they scored that goal. Braden Panzer scores 45 seconds later, getting help on the play from Carson Caulfield. It was a shot by Caulfield from the point. Panzer chipped it from outside the hash marks, but it was a good redirect against Trent Wimpkin, the goalie for Davies, and Panzer gets the goal. An assist from Spicer as well. It came at 8:52, so just 45 seconds removed from Cameron Bullinger's goal. That tied the game at 1, sent us into the second. Halfway through the second period, it's Joey Kennelly for the first of his natural hat trick effort in the second. A help from Chase Spicer as well. Kennelly getting a shot to go in at 9:53. That made it 2-1, and then really interesting things happen at the end of the second. First, Dylan Kuntz and Carson Caulfield are called for simultaneous minor penalties. Kuntz for interference, Caulfield for roughing, both at 12:41, and it puts Central 2 men short for a full 2 minutes, but again, only 1 shot on goal during that entire 2-man advantage power play for Fargo Davies. And then, after Central killed the penalty, it was Job Fryer that gets a roughing call at 14:47. 57 seconds later, it's Jackson Archibald that goes in for tripping at 15:44. So now it's 1:03 for a 5-on-3 advantage for Grand Forks Central. Joey Kennelly scores on the 2-man advantage, just sneaking in and kind of squirting one short side low against Trent Wimpkin with a help from a Chase Spicer at 16:20 of the period. That made it 3-1, and then 28 seconds later, it's Joey Kennelly again waiting for a rebounded puck. Brendan White sent it in. Kennelly picked it up and rams home a one-timer on a rebound on the 5-on-4 power play. So 2 power play goals, 28 seconds apart for Kennelly. Give Dylan Kuntz an assist on that third goal by Kennelly. And the natural hat trick for Joey Kennelly that made it a 4-1 lead for Central coming out of the second. Into the third, it's Braden Panzer from Spicer and Kennelly. That was a pretty goal. Kennelly up on the right side, crossing pass to Panzer, or rather to Spicer. Spicer goes to Panzer on the right point, and he just kind of chips one in. The opening created by the crossing action out in front. They call it tic-tac-toe, and Panzer scores at 10:37 to make it 5-1. And then for good measure at the end, Joey Kennelly coming up 2-on-1 with Panzer. Panzer makes the great crossing pass, and Kennelly scores again. That one coming at the 14:42 mark. 4 goals for Joey Kennelly tonight. Braden Panzer gets on the board twice and assists one as well. And Grand Forks Central wins it again by a final score of 6-1. Scoring summary in this one tonight, we'll take a look through that. For Cameron Bullinger for Fargo Davies, his goal was his 13th point. The assists on the play to Landon Donner, his 6th assist and 11th point of the season. Jackson Archibald, his 5th assist and 12th point of the year. That line continues to perform. They came into the night with 33 points. They'll leave with 36 for Fargo Davies. Around the rest of the horn, Braden Panzer with 2 goals and an assist tonight for Grand Forks Central. He'll go to 20 points on the year now with 10 goals and 10 assists. Joey Kennelly picks up 4 goals tonight. He'll get an assist as well. So a 5-point night for Kennelly that will move him to 18 points. 10 goals on the season to go with 8 assists. And then Chase Spicer, who doesn't score a goal tonight but picks up 4 helpers in this one tonight. And Spicer will get his 15th assist and his 19th point. So that first line for Grand Forks Central came into the night with 45 points as a unit. They're going to leave tonight with 57 points as a unit, as they have 12 points between them tonight in this matchup for Grand Forks Central. As far as the other scoring is concerned, Carson Caulfield with an assist, his 3rd point and assist of the year. Brendan White gets an assist tonight. For White, that's his 2nd assist, 5th point. And for Dylan Kuntz, he gets his 1st point of the season, helping out on Joey Kennelly's 3rd goal of the 2nd period. That's your scoring summary and your game summary, brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything you need for the spraying and application process on your farm. One final pause tonight. When we come back, quick look at our Hugo's Low scoreboard, wrap up with our player awards, and get ready for tomorrow, which is a big sports day for us as well. As we wrap up for the night. Coming up here in just a couple of moments. Post-game report continues. Central wins it by a score of 6-1 over Fargo Davies tonight on Magnitude Sports and the Branson Bank and Trust New Vision Truck Accessory Sports Network from KNOX.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo.
What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Final score again tonight, 6-1 in favor of Grand Forks Central over Fargo Davies. The Knights move to 7-1 on the season. They will take over first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. And for Fargo Davies, they will drop to 5-4, and they will stay in 4th place in the EDC as the night comes to a conclusion tonight. We welcome you back to our post-game report, brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything you need for the spraying and application process on your farm. Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. So when the other guys tell you that it's not in stock, think again, because Spray Advantage has what you need. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain cart seed tenders. With 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas, make Spray Advantage a part of your season this year and for years to come. One score update we can pass along to you in a game that we're watching rather closely tonight. The top of the West is on the line between Minot and Jamestown. They were 3-3 going to overtime, and Minot was on the 5-on-3 2-man advantage to start overtime. We have not yet seen an update on it, though, and that was a while ago. So they have skated to overtime between Minot and Jamestown. Again, both teams entering the night with 22 points and the share of the lead in the WDA, and somebody's coming out of there in first place tonight. For Grand Forks Central, they get their 7th win of the season. They'll grab 3 points tonight. They will move to 20 points on the year, and that will actually to 21 points on the year, and that will give them a 2-point advantage over Fargo South Shanley for first place, and a 4-point advantage over Grand Forks Red River in that matchup. Also, Fargo Davies stays at 12. West Fargo gets to 6 points tonight. They'll tie Grafton Park River for the number 6 spot. West Fargo Cheyenne with 9 points is there. And now guess what? We just found out that they're heading to a shootout in that game between Jamestown and Minot. And so that one's going to be decided in the extra session. Somebody's going to get their 2nd point in a shootout tonight. Some other scores to pass along to you tonight. Grand Forks Red River knocks off Grand Forks Central girls basketball 81-57. It's 6-1 now for Red River over East Grand Forks. They're down to the final 5 minutes at Eagles Arena tonight in the other hockey matchup that was going on in Grand Forks tonight. Again, West Fargo over Grafton 6-3. In high school hockey tonight, West Fargo beats Wahpeton boys basketball 93-78. Also in basketball overtime, Grafton wins at Central Cass 47-45 in overtime. Brandon Albright with 13 points and 11 rebounds for Grafton tonight. Justin Garza had 13 points in that matchup as well, so that is a big one. And we do have a final in Red River boys basketball as Red River beats Central tonight by a final score of 84-58, which might be a little bit surprising. That was looked like a better game on paper than it turned out to be. Also, girls buckets, West Fargo over Wahpeton tonight, 69-30. Hatton Northwood defeats Larimore boys basketball 75-32. Final score in that matchup, and that is your Hugo's Low scoreboard for tonight. Also, Hillsborough Central Valley beaten by 4 wins Minnewacan tonight by a score of 65-40. On to our player awards. First award will be our 3 stars of the game, brought to you by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for painless shopping. If 2021 means a new garage door because the old one's just been beaten up, PS Garage Doors is the place to call. They have a new warehouse that's in the industrial park on Demers, west of I-29 in Grand Forks. They have plenty of makes and models to show. They'll bring it to you to install it. And for those of you that are in agriculture, if you've reached a point where your implements don't fit into the building anymore, PS Garage Doors comes to you, widens out the door frame, and then puts in the right garage door for you. It's a great service. PS Garage Doors, give them a call at 772-DOOR and make sure that you have the personal service that you're looking for. 772-DOOR in Devils Lake and Grand Forks for PS Garage Doors. Well, I mean, in the long run, I don't know how you go anywhere but the top 3 skating again tonight. Our 3rd star tonight will be Chase Spicer, who's on the board with 4 assists this evening for Grand Forks Central. Our 2nd star, Braden Panzer, 2 goals and an assist. And then the number 1 star has to be Joey Kennelly, 4 goals, including the natural hat trick tonight for Joey Kennelly. So Chase Spicer, Braden Panzer, Joey Kennelly are 3 stars of the game. Brought to you by PS Garage Doors in Devils Lake and Grand Forks, and not really a surprise with the way that they played tonight. And then we'll wrap things up with our Finest Auto Trim Finest cover of the game, brought to you by Finest Auto Trim, where they say big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim can take care of the upholstery in that vehicle, as you've heard tonight. Does it seem like your seat has lost some of its support? It could be because of weak upholstery, not a bad seat. Finest Auto Trim can recover the upholstery in your vehicle and make it look like new again. You may even save yourself a lot of money, considering that your next option might be buying a brand new vehicle just because of the upholstery. They'll take care of that lived-in look at Finest Auto Trim. When they service vehicles, they use AMSOIL products because AMSOIL products are the best, and Finest Auto Trim can cover your implements that you keep outside as well. Finest Auto Trim will come to you, measure out your boat, measure out your ATV, and come up with a perfect custom-fitted cover for your outside implements. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Defensive award tonight, you know what, let's not forget about Kobe Elseth, the goalie for Grand Forks Central. Maybe hasn't got as much credit as he should this year because that forecheck in front of him has been very good. But he turned aside a couple of key openings that Fargo Davies had throughout the course of the night. Braden Panzer had another great defensive night tonight, eating up a couple of shots on the body and the penalty kill. But Kobe Elseth turns in another one-goal performance. He just continues to impress for Grand Forks Central. We'll give the defensive cover to Kobe Elseth, the finest auto trim, finest cover of the game. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, it'll be wrestling at Fargo North High School, as it'll be a triangular that Central will participate in. They go up against Fargo Davies coming up tomorrow morning. That's at 11 o'clock. We'll be on the air at about 10:45 with the pre-match report for that, maybe 10:50 or so. And then high school hockey tomorrow afternoon from Civic Center Arena in East Grand Forks. It's Central and East Grand Forks in the matchup coming up tomorrow afternoon. Our pregame report here on KNOX at about 2:30, and then we'll join NFL playoff football in progress. Those of you on Magnitude Sports, thank you for welcoming us with you here tonight. I want to thank our premier sports partners on KNOX, Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results, FransonBank.com, and New Vision Truck Accessories, your truck accessory supercenter in Grand Forks. Your final score tonight in high school hockey: Grand Forks Central 6, Fargo Davies 1. For KNOX Sports and for Magnitude Sports, I'm Ryan Cunningham saying so long. On KNOX, we'll join the Jim Bohannon Show, already in progress.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.